Boom. We're here. ANDREWCAST episode 19. Sorry it's been such a long time. I was moving, had comics to do. But we're doing what nerds do best right now. We're in my mom's basement. We're going to talk about anime.
Is it live? Is it recording?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Oh.
Yeah, what's wrong, dude?
I wasn't ready.
Yeah. Is there something that you have to get ready for? YouTube? The YouTube audience?
No,
of like 50 people?
Unprofessional.
Sometimes 20?
No, okay.
50 people, 50 people.
Dude, I'm not complaining.
$50.
At the end of the day, you make it for you. So,
Oh, shit.
got some stuff to talk about, man. So, we watched the special. I was going to have an event for it, but it just didn't happen because I had to go to work and do all this stuff. But I was going to have wings. We were going to watch the Goku versus Jiren fight like it was the Super Bowl. Canceled. Boy had to watch it. Funimation messed up. Me and Ant were trying to find it. Servers got overloaded.
Yeah.
But we ended up watching it, man. And
shout out to Josh Lovins for having the show on his Plex account. Because I saw it the minute it went live.
really?
A minute or an hour later, because I don't know what time it was.
Oh, you're
live.
lucky.
I watched it.
Any lag or anything?
Nothing.
No.
Incredible.
We waited. Dude, we waited like probably half an hour. Funimation kept going on and off. Crunchyroll kept going on and off. It was a nightmare, but we finally got to watch it. And I really liked it. Ant really liked it. I understand you didn't like it. Now, before we dive into that...
Waited 2 weeks to see that. Waste my time, 2017.
Dude, I see. I don't know where that's coming from, though, man.
Alright, we can talk about multiple points. So we can go with the Goku vs. Jiren first, and then we can just talk about Super as a whole, and how I think that it is the biggest money-grubbing, time-wasting show I've seen. And honestly, I'm going to put this out there, it is an abomination to the Dragon Ball Name.
Wow.
Ouch.
Man, that's a pretty deep claim. And I was with you for a little bit when the animation was like so horrendous that I couldn't actually watch it.
Resurrection F was atrocious.
It was unbearable.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm with you on that. But as far as story, like the story started to redeem itself a little bit. Well, first let's talk about Goku and Jiren. So I'm gonna say my piece first, real quick. I think Jiren as a villain, there's a lot of mystique. Obviously, we don't know exactly what he's after. We know he's going to make a wish, which I was really excited to learn about. But we don't know what it's for. And we don't really have a motive for him. We just know that he's a mortal that's more powerful than a god. So I guess like there's a lot of curiosity behind that. But the guy doesn't really say much. He's just super inhumanly strong, which seems weird that it would be allowed for somebody who's stronger than gods to enter the tournament. But that's a whole other thing entirely.
But is he technically a villain?
No, I mean, is Hit villain? He's kind of like in the same realm as Hit, I'd say, where he's just like a competitor.
But Hit's also a paid contractor.
Yeah, I mean, Jiren's actually like a police officer. If you think about it.
And
so he's not a villain. I think he's a villain in the sense that it's Dragon Ball, and you know that's what we're used to.
But
like
technically,
Cell, they're villains, but he's a good guy. He's just an opponent.
But technically, everyone in Universe 7 is the villain of this arc.
Yeah.
So I mean, that would make Jiren actually the hero.
But I was talking about this with Ant though, like that he is kind of heroic because he's part of like the Pride Troopers, which are like spreading justice. The whole point of this arc is to make Goku not seem so heroic. Like he's kind of like this cool like anti-hero kind of guy who's gonna do the right thing, but he's not doing it in the traditional way. So I guess you could argue that Jiren stands for good. I kind of had a realization today that I know we're gonna be listening. If you weren't already warned, we're pontificating on Dragon Ball today. But like, so recently there's just been a lot of fan service in Dragon Ball Super, and it's almost as if every stone has been unturned. For example, female Super Saiyans, that's been done. Evil version of Goku, that's been done. Like all this stuff fans are wanting to see. So here's what I was thinking about today. Fans really want to see Goku versus Superman, right? And it's a big thing. I guarantee Akira Toriyama has heard about it. So I think that Jiren is an allegory for Superman. Now that I watch it and like see how he's dressed and like see how he stands and stuff, it's almost like that character is meant to be Superman.
He's God. He is God, essentially.
Right. So, but I feel like he was designed to be like another, like a youth, like a symbol of Superman.
Because he isn't technically an alien.
That's
in a way, and how you look at it, he's an alien. To us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. So that's kind of how I saw it, man. But so
Dragon Ball, it always suffered from one problem only, and that is time. So far, we're about how many episodes into this fight?
20.
Yeah. Maybe 20 more. and only 25 minutes have passed.
That's true.
That doesn't make sense.
Sheldon, Ant showed me this video. I think Ant showed it to me, or I showed it to you, where somebody
I saw they put all the videos together, and which was cool.
Right.
But it ain't cool when it's been like 17 to 18 weeks. You gotta watch it every week.
Wow, think about it like that. It has been.
It's been weeks because this started in May.
Yeah, it did.
It started in May. We're not even. I don't even think we're at the halfway point.
No. Well, the reason I think it's being dragged out so long, everyone disagrees with me. I think this is the end of Dragon Ball Super. I think it's the last arc, and that's why it's going so long. And the reason why I think it's the last arc is because you literally have. So the tournament of power is not just like the universe is more powerful. Of course, the universe is most powerful. Of course, it is that. But it's also, if you count all, it's 12 universes, right? If you count all 12, that's the most powerful beings in reality. So if the most powerful beings of reality are at this tournament, then what could possibly be next? That's my thing. And of course, it's Dragon Ball, so you never know. But it would have to be related to actually making a wish for like a stronger opponent, like Goku alluded to in that arc when he was like, maybe I'll wish for somebody strong that I can meet. Like, but that's already been done. Like Zamasu wished that he could be Goku. So is it another story that's predicated on making a wish? No. That's why I think like this is the highest tier that you could possibly be. And because in Dragon Ball the pattern seems to be you're always looking forward to a new Super Saiyan form, right? Yeah. So with Super Saiyan God, we look forward to Super Saiyan Blue. Super Saiyan Blue, we look forward to Super Saiyan Rose. Now it's Ultra Instinct, which is completely just not a Super Saiyan at all. We don't know what it is. So that's why I think this is the last, because that form is just like, alright, there's no more Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan's irrelevant. Let
me ask you guys something. When they unveiled the God form, did you think there was going to be another one after that? Or were you like, alright, this is it, that's cool. And then we got the Resurrection F movie 3 years later? I forget what it was.
It was short time.
I think it was like a year later.
Or a year later?
Short time.
Yeah.
But during that year, when we got that God form, it made sense. We're like, okay, 4 puts 1 up together. They channel all of their whatever it was. Yeah. And he goes God. Then I was like, I can buy into that.
Right.
New form. Then when Blue came around, I said, okay, Goku could go blue. That doesn't make sense how Vegeta could go blue. And then they said, well, since he was training with gods, he opened the ability to do it. Okay, he still hasn't gone Super Saiyan 3.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. And now, then Goku went Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken, and I'm like, that's weird to be hit, because he never did that as a normal Saiyan.
Right. Well, he did in the very beginning of Dragon Ball Z.
Did he? He did. No, I'm saying like he went Super Saiyan and Kaioken at the same time.
Alright, so this is super nerdy, but he did do Super Saiyan Kaioken in Dragon Ball Z, but it was not canon, so it wasn't in the manga.
That was against what's his name?
Pycon, I think. Yeah, it was in that. It was in the
Otherworld tournament.
It was in the Otherworld tournament for sure. He goes Super Saiyan Kaioken, and Sean Schemmel's line is actually Super Saiyan Kaioken. So it's been done before, but it's not Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. I called that was going to happen before it did.
You did, yeah. I remember that when that aired.
Because the reason why is because he was pulling out all this old stuff, like the Mafubas from Dragon Ball. So I was like, what's next? Kaioken, pull that from the beginning, man. But like, you're right. It does seem to be. I mean, not a little bit out of nowhere. It's like on the steady progression. Yeah. But my thing is just Ultra Instinct, man. If there's any more like signs for me that Super is coming to an end, that's the last one. But of course,
and I want you to defend that BS.
That it's coming to an end?
No, that the Ultra Instinct. Because I texted him, I think, right after I watched it. I might text you. I forget.
No.
Okay, so I texted Andrew right after it happened. Asked me if he saw the episode, he said did, and I think I said that was trash. I think that was my words. Something like that. That was trash.
Those are your exact words.
Exact words. Because bro, he falls into a spirit bomb. Just think of that. And then somehow, inside of it, he can harness the energy, which becomes his body heat, and then he can achieve this higher form that none of the gods can do, but they've heard of. That doesn't make sense. And they were like, what is that? And then Beer's like, I think that's Ultra Instinct. And I'm like, you think? I don't think the writers know what they're doing.
Well, this is what kind of perplexes me is that the manga and the anime, which is canon? Because do you read the manga? Have you read the manga?
No.
There's a lot of differences.
I know they jump all over the place.
There's so many differences. And if you go off the manga, I think Beerus actually knows the Ultra Instinct. So I don't think all of the gods know it, but if a lot of them do, like it took them a while to learn it. Mm-hmm. But Jiren undoubtedly has it. So Jiren undoubtedly mastered Ultra Instinct. Goku just got a taste of it.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a new form of Super Saiyan, but I believe it's going to be a new ability that Goku's going to take on. Because that's what happened with God form. Remember, he needed the 4 Saiyans or 4 or 5, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And now he can do it on a whim like that. So
did you guys notice that too? He
What?
went to that God form in the fight and then just jumped to blue, and I was like,
yeah, he was.
and that was the first time we've seen that God form since the Battle of Gods.
No.
Second time,
Yeah,
actually.
second time.
Second
yeah,
time?
Yeah.
He did it earlier in the tournament with Hit when they were ganging up on somebody.
Oh,
I
you're
forget.
right, he did. I forgot.
It was a
about
back-to-back. But,
Oh, and Vegeta did it in the manga against Black and Zamasu.
He
went
goes
red.
God?
Yeah, he goes red.
So there's some crazy stuff that happens in the manga just to catch you up. Remember how in Super when Beerus uses Destroy on Zamasu, like he puts his hand in front of him?
Yep.
So like Goku does that move in the manga. And like so which to hint that like he's learning like moves from Beerus.
Yeah.
And also in the manga, which like me and Ant, it's one of our favorite parts. You know how in the beginning of Tournament of Power there's this like this kind of like test tournament that they're doing? So in the manga it's actually the gods fighting each other. And they're all ganging up on Beerus, and Beerus is fighting everyone. Like, he's taking them all on, almost like it's nothing. And is that what leads you to think that, like,
It's Ultra Instinct, yeah. Because the panels are like that. It's drawn out like everyone's moving. You know, they're throwing punches, but Beerus is just, like, totally calm. Just like how Goku was when he was fighting Jiren.
So where's the comic then? Is it
so far behind? It's just in the beginning of Tournament.
Yeah,
behind the show?
yeah.
It's behind the show.
Way behind
So
the
the
show.
show started before.
See, that's where this becomes perplexing. I don't know, and I'm sure the answer is somewhere on Google. I think that the manga is more supervised by Toriyama. Therefore, it takes like a longer time to create.
Is it monthly or weekly?
Monthly.
But it's a huge chapter. It's like a 30-page chapter.
Okay.
That's right, it is. It's really.
It's insane.
You know the Boruto one, Naruto's son. That one's like 50 pages.
Boruto.
A month.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think that's starting to become like a trend now. Is it's switching from it's going to monthly instead of weekly.
I hate that.
I'm okay with it to an extent, but at the same time, we grew up on weekly for like 15 years,
yeah.
so that's a hard change. I think that's why they changed it for like the newer version.
That's a whole other conversation, man. But yeah, so there's a lot of differences between the manga and the anime right now. The main point being with Ultra Instinct, this is my take on it right now. This is my take on Ultra Instinct. So I think, and I texted you this, that Whis' explanation was really hard to follow. Like I can't recite it to you right now without sounding really dumb. Like it was just hard to follow. Like so like Goku's power to resist the power of others brings out this new form. My point is when this episode's dubbed in English, I think that the dub is going to be like it's going to really shed light on what he's talking about.
The translation seemed funky.
It was funky. Also, you got to remember, like, this was simulcast, so, like, the translations were probably really last minute, and it's about as basic as you can get. So that's one. Two is, like, I think that the form's going to be expanded on later. Obviously, Goku's going to lock into it, just like Ant said. When he experiences a new form, his body adjusts to it, and, like, he learns it. So that's one. But my take on it is this. I Google image search Ultra Instinct just to see what would come up. If there's, like, any sort of, like, new art or something like that. And remember, the Dragon Ball game for your cell phone,
Dokuden.
Yeah.
It got leaked on there months ago.
Right. Okay. So, but in the Dokuden card, excuse me, it says Goku, Ultra Instinct, Dimension God. So, what I take when I see the words Dimension God is when the spirit bomb exploded, whatever happened. Remember how Goku disappeared and then he came back? I think Goku went to this other dimension, and I think that's going to be expanded on later episodes because I read Dimension God. I was like, oh yeah, he did kind of come out like this portal at the end. I think he went to like this dimension of power or whatever. It's such a stretch to say.
Well, do you remember? You know how they were both pushing the. They were in that deadlock, and you could see the energy that was going around it.
Yeah.
Kind of, it was like their own force. I don't think, like, he did disappear and was, like, in another dimension, but I thought he became pure energy at that point. He was engineered, because Jiren knew he was still there.
Right.
No one else could sense it, but somehow Jiren did, which is also weird, because none of the gods could sense it. I forget what the two blue people are called.
Angels?
No, the two that run the tournament. What are their names again?
Xeno.
Yeah.
They didn't know he was there either.
Yeah.
But Jiren had a feeling. That's why he was standing there just in that direction the whole time.
Right.
He knew he wasn't gone. And then when they tried to show what Goku did, remember when he fell in and then you see him like
his pupils disappear.
His pupils disappear and then you saw him raging.
Right.
And then he sprinted toward the camera. I'm like, okay. that's a little weird, but it didn't make sense. But did you guys know that there was actually 2 episodes of that whole thing? The one that was on Funimation, they cut out 3 minutes of dialogue.
What?
Accidentally. So you didn't hear about this?
No.
Yeah, so that's
You know
why.
about this?
No way.
Yeah, you can go on YouTube, go on that guy for Neverworld.
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
Dude, that guy looks crazy.
So, no, sorry, Crunchyroll had the wrong version.
Yeah.
It was the condensed cut fight.
Okay.
Funimation had the right one.
When did we watch it on?
I think we watched them on Funimation.
Because there's more dialogue of Beerus saying what Goku did. And that's why when he was saying all that stuff and it was confusing,
Right.
in the Crunchyroll one, he said what he thought it was and then it went back to them fighting.
Mm.
There was about another 10 lines of dialogue that was said.
I gotta look that up because I didn't even
Yeah.
know there was a difference.
Yeah, there's 2 episodes.
Huh. I wonder which one we watched. I'm pretty sure we watched the one that you're talking about, but I don't know for
Because
sure.
I found out after I watched it from that Neverworld guy, and
Yeah.
he said it, and then I was like, I went back to watch it, and I watched the right one,
Right.
but I was like, oh, I wonder how many people watched the wrong one, because
Yeah.
if I was confused, I can't imagine how many people were
Confused, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Again, it's definitely going to be expanded on later, so I'm not that nervous about it as far as it being a huge plot hole and ruining Dragon Ball Super for me. But I just the explanation from Whis was bad, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
But I have a crazy prediction as
hear
to
it.
how this arc is going to end. I think that Vegeta is going to be the one to beat Jiren, and the reason I think that is because the scene where he refuses to give power to Goku is pretty pivotal, and he almost treats Ultra Instinct as usually when we see Goku achieve a new form in front of Vegeta's kind of distraught. In Battle of Gods, he was just he was next time I get to be the god, you know what I'm saying? And he's in between Resurrection F and Battle of Gods, he's training super hard, but he sees Ultra Instinct, and he's kind of impressed by it, but there's not really that class of Vegeta I can't believe it. Maybe that's coming later, and maybe we're gonna see a whole bunch of that. But something leads me to believe, because of the manga, in the manga, there's a scene that wasn't in the anime where Vegeta is training with Whis and Beerus, and Whis suggests to Beerus that they fight for fun, and Vegeta actually holds his own against Beerus a little bit, but Beerus just crushes him instantly. And at the end of the fight, Vegeta says, I've made a fool out of myself. I can't believe that I fought Beerus. What was I thinking that I was going to win? And Whis says, actually, you got pretty far. No one's ever really been that far in a fight with him. Which leads me to believe this. If that's in the manga and that story's going on, then since Vegeta has been training with them this whole time, I think he's reached Ultra Instinct already. He knows what it is, and that's gonna be the shock.
I don't think so, because he said to Goku, he's what was that? He doesn't even know what it was. And
But he wasn't mad though, which was weird, because he's usually mad when he saw the God form, the red one. He was mad because he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the blue one, he achieved it. But it was different. It was so strange.
But that kind of throws my theory off. It was Vegeta that said that? I thought Piccolo said that. What is that for?
No, he said it to him as soon as Goku was laying on the ground. He's what
Ah.
was that? And then Goku's I don't even know what it was.
I forgot
Yeah,
that, so maybe.
No, yeah, I don't think that's the case either, because everybody was intimidated by Jiren, so I don't think Vegeta wants anything to do with that.
I think they're going to do the cop-out and have Gohan win the tournament.
No way, dude. He's become so secondary now. He's going to get eliminated. Probably within the next 5 episodes.
I think I'm surprised Piccolo. First of all, I'm surprised 17 and 18 are still in it, because we haven't seen them do it. I can't remember them doing anything besides when Krillin fought. And here's another thing. 17 has been my favorite character since they were introduced.
That's so funny.
He's my favorite character.
That's a character.
Even back in Z?
Back in Z.
That's so cool.
When they were introduced, because I really fell in love with Dragon Ball Z when the History of Trunks, when that TV special came out.
Sad. So sad.
And that was the first time you actually got to see murder like that in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Twisted.
Because it was twisted, and 17, 18, that demeanor was holy that they were captivating.
Right.
And so I got to enjoy 17, but when 17 came back in Super, and he was pretty much on par with Blue Goku, I was like, this is getting ridiculous.
Well, that whole scope of episodes, and I want you to weigh in, man. I know you're listening, but like that whole scope of episodes, man, where Goku's testing everybody's strength and everyone can match him in blue, to me was like just kind of weird. But I guess it was just like trying to assure the viewer that like, hey man, like we're not super outclassed here. Like if everyone can at least go toe to toe with blue, maybe not win, then we have some hope in the tournament. But as you notice, the weaker characters got eliminated. With Tien is out, Master Roshi of course is out. You know, like Krillin is out. These are just things that we know. But yeah, that whole thing was like really? Android 17 can keep up with Super? Like what
they were in the sky duking it out. I'm like, this is insane.
Goku actually had to go blue because 17 was going that strong against him.
It remembers all these awesome details that I forget.
It's a good detail.
But yeah, that's the truth. He kind of forced him to go that way. But yeah, that was weird, man.
Yeah, but they tied. You gotta remember, they tied. And I was like, how are they tied? And he just watches Jurassic Park on that island.
Right. What has he been doing? He hasn't been training.
Yeah.
No, he has been training. He said that.
See, okay, you need to speak up because I keep forgetting these things.
I can't remember that far back. Yeah. There's so many episodes.
What did he say? To like defend the island from.
Yeah, he's like, I've been keeping up with my training and stuff. I wonder how he does that. Like that's weird. Like Frieza's training. Like all he did was beat up that guy.
No, that was annoying.
What was?
When Frieza went gold because he's like, oh, I never trained before, and I was like, really? We're gonna go with that. You never trained before, so that's why you can now achieve this higher form.
The thing that got me the most mad is when he comes back, where Master Roshi's sister resurrects him for the tournament. He comes back and he explains how he's been getting more powerful and he's been training in his mind. Mm-hmm. Like, what is the Frieza race? Like, how can they get stronger just by thinking about it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty crazy. Like,
you also got to remember, on that Namek arc, Frieza was killing and doing a lot of things with his mind.
Right.
He killed Chrome with technically his mind.
People pointed out in the beginning
his finger and stuff like that.
People pointed out in the beginning of Z that for the majority of the arc, Frieza's actually sitting down. That's how powerful he is. Like he's going around this chair and just like wrecking people. You know what I'm saying?
He's like controlling the chair, moving probably.
Right. So I mean, that's a good point. But now like everyone is as powerful as Goku. It's hard to buy into. It's hard to buy into that like a Broly form Super Saiyan can handle Super Saiyan Blue.
Trunks.
But I've dropped the power matching completely. For me, it's just all about the fights, man. And my point is coming full circle. I wasn't disappointed with that fight. Were you disappointed with the action or just the premise?
No, the animation was astonishing.
Right. It was pretty good.
It was really good. A little CGI-ish.
They do that nowadays. That's like a thing.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
I don't know when that became a thing. But I'm not a fan.
It doesn't have a lot of soul. It seems very robotic.
It seems like it's too... I don't know how to explain it. It's not traditional. Dragon Ball, Z, and GT was very traditional. All hand-drawn.
I would argue that the Kid Buu fight is one of the best animated fights.
Oh, yeah, undoubtedly.
I've ever seen in my life, man.
And GT as a whole is the best animated.
Oh, yeah.
I think so, too.
One of my favorite fights ever in Z was Majin Vegeta versus Goku.
Yeah.
The animation, because you got to remember, they made the whole backdrop pretty much like a dark blue sky with just rocks, and they were just duking it out so they could focus on the fight. And that was amazing because there's so much detail in it's drawn. Because now you can tell Super isn't drawn. Well, you could probably tell if it is or isn't, but to me, it doesn't look like it's drawn. It looks like it's all like computerized and like set pieces.
I've said this to Ant before, and I don't mean to cut you off. Just to interject really quickly, the reason why Super's animation suffers so bad, and this is barring the budget issue, because there is a budget issue. They're getting more money as the series gets more popular. That's how it happens with anime on Fuji TV. Mm-hmm. I'm not an expert, so I can't speak like further than that. But I'm from what I've seen, that's how it works. Mm-hmm. In Dragon Ball Z, there was existing source material to go off of, and Toriyama's such a great artist. Like they would look at his comic and they would replicate what was drawn in the manga. A lot of these characters are being drawn for the first time in the anime. So it just looks bad, and like a lot of the action scenes are being drawn for the first time in the anime, and so that's there's no comic to go off of to see that because the comic book's coming out after the fact. That's why it seems kind of funny, like when Goku's like kicking and his arms are like behind his back, like it just looks weird. Like it's not.
Or
Goku.
What about when Jiren threw a punch and Goku pirouetted around him, and I was like. When that happened, I was like, that was weird.
He just kind of like spun.
Yeah, you remember that? And I was like, that was weird. Like that
was kind of strange.
That was strange. But I think the coolest shot that they showed was because the one thing that does make sense, the Ultra Instinct, is that your body moves on its own to fight.
Yeah.
When Goku took that step and then he like appeared in front of Jiren, then that Ultra Instinct makes sense because his body wanted to hit Jiren, and Goku looked surprised. And then you saw the two other peace troops or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, he's right in front of him. How'd that happen?" Because he moved so fast. But Jiren saw the whole thing.
Right, he was ready for him.
He was ready
I
for
love that, bro.
And another cool thing is we actually got to see Jiren power up.
We
Yeah,
did.
Because he never power up the whole fight.
So cool.
And he caught his punch, and he realized that Goku's time was up.
Right.
And he just threw him.
Tournament was his limit, yeah.
But the coolest shot that the whole fight had was when Jiren put his arms down to stop the spirit bomb and finally gained control. And you saw it like up here, and the camera was behind him, and you saw like the destruction and everything. And he just like did that glare and just pushed it. And I was like, he's a different breed.
So cool.
He's a different breed. So I was like, okay, it's starting to redeem itself. But if you can't explain how something's happening, you're gonna lose people who think like me. Because like, I need to understand. Because that's why I said I thought Naruto was better than DBZ, because everything was explained.
Right.
Everything that happened, they either explained it the minute after or 10 episodes later to tie everything in.
In Naruto, I'm not a huge fan, but it's big on explanation. Like I've seen in the manga where like there's like word bubbles that are just full of like 100 words.
Yeah.
I'm like that too, because it's not enough for me that a character is strong. I need to know why, so I'm impressed, right? Mm-hmm. There's scenes where like Jiren is meditating, and we think that maybe he's like in this kind of like theta state where he's like mastered like Ultra Instinct. I need to know more about that. Mm-hmm. And of course, there's this story. There's two stories going on. So he's gonna wish for something, which is cool, and he's also there to surpass that clown god of destruction. What is his name?
Belmont or Vermouth.
He's gonna be the new.
Jesus. I had no idea he had a name.
Yeah.
And really, you know all of them. Dude.
Yeah, because I know you're die hard.
I am. I'm not gonna lie. I am.
But to finish my thought before I pass it off to Anne, I know you're gonna say something, but like my thing is this. So like, I need to know why he's so strong in order to be impressed by it. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is like, you know, let's take Saitama from One Punch Man. We don't know why he's so strong. He just is. But see, that's the point of that anime.
That's the point.
Right. That's where the comedy comes from.
And that's where it's funny. Because he's like, damn.
Right.
Like, maybe I should hold back. Like, that's actually kind of funny.
Exactly. How can a regular guy be this strong? Yeah. And we don't even want to know, because that would ruin the whole thing.
Well,
we just have to. Well, he says he just works out.
Yeah.
So it's just like that. That's the great part. It's just like everyone works out, but there's no way that you could ever be that strong. Yeah. But like with Jiren, like we need to know why. Like how is like. Because Goku is this character, dude. We've seen him from like a kid all the way up to now, where he's like a grandfather, and we know how he got powerful. Like he risked his life, he did some crazy stuff. Like we need to know the story with Jiren, so it's like it's a match that like we're more invested in.
Yeah.
Because just because he's strong, that makes no difference to me, man.
But that adds to his mystery, which is cool, and it will be explained. Like these things always get explained. Yeah, like Hit was explained. Well, not fully, but I think that adds on to Hit's allure as well. He's super mysterious. Given his title, he's a hitman. You can't know too much about an assassin. They live in the shadows. That sounds really funny. I think Jiren will be explained. And I was thinking about this earlier, and it sounds kind of funny, but like, does Jiren have a family? Like, is he like a family man?
That's what I think his wish is going to be, because I feel like his people are gone. He's the last one.
You think?
Kind of like a Superman.
We're talking about Jiren, right?
Yep. I think his wish is going to be that he's going to win. And he's going to wish for all the universes back. Because like we said in the beginning, he's not a bad guy.
But he seems a little selfish.
But he's going to be a god of destruction, though, Ant. That's the weird part.
But we don't know that, because the manga said that Toppo is next in line to be god of destruction. But Jiren, I don't know what's up with that.
Didn't the anime say that too, though?
The anime said that he's someone who could beat a god of destruction. He's not next.
Or he's on par.
Yeah,
I think he said he's on par with the god of destruction.
In the manga, the clown god, he straight up said, he's like, I'm retiring, and he said Toppo's going to take the spot. So maybe that'll change in the manga. He's the guy with the big hands and the mustache. Yeah.
Really? He's going to be the guy? Oh.
Yeah.
What's it called? I heard. You remember Mubashar and Justin Ziegler? They both had the same theory, and it got me mad about how they're going to achieve this. Remember how I forget the name, the girl Saiyans? How they
Kale and Khalifa.
And those are all, man.
You know how they went saying, they said focus all your energy in the center of your back?
Yeah.
Mubashar said that when Goku fights Jiren, something's going to happen for Jiren to hit the center of his back, and that's how Goku's going to go into rage and go into Ultra Instinct. When he told me that, I said, if that happens, I'm canceling that show. I'm never watching, because that is going to be so... And I can sense it going to happen. It seems like something like that's going to happen. Because remember, Goku and Vegeta, they go Saiyan by controlling is it Tranquility and Rage, something like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, originally that's
was
kind of what
Rage.
sparked it, and then they can just kind of go in and out of it now.
Yeah, in and out of it. So if they're able to, because they don't know about the whole center of your back thing, focus all your energy there, and then you can do whatever. So if that happens, that's insane, and I'm gonna be very displeased.
As
That's
more
a bad theory.
Well, I
That's
don't.
weird.
I don't
It
think
is weird, but it's happened.
First off, that whole back explanation came out of nowhere in the anime. It was very weird to me. So I don't know where it's coming from, but I agree. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Muba is really big into Super though. I remember I was at the gym and we were just talking about Dragon Ball Super for literally the whole time I was there. But yeah,
He
man.
just started watching like anime like last year, and I gave him a list. I
Did
said,
you?
"Yo, check these out."
You're the right person to ask though.
Well, because you two got me into 7th grade. I think we said this before. It was like DBZ, and then that led me to Naruto, and then it's a trickle down effect.
Is Naruto your favorite shonen?
By far, I don't like shonen because I hate that style. I hate
the
that
arc.
The arc, the style. I hate all that. But Naruto did it to me. It did it right. And there's a couple other ones that are decent. Hunter x Hunter is good.
That's an amazing one.
It's phenomenal.
Holy cow.
What's it called? Yu Yu Hakusho is a great one.
Yeah.
All those long running series. I don't like many of them because I don't like watching.
Right.
I can't watch One Piece. I can't. It's too many.
I only watch One Piece and Dragon Ball.
See, and that's how I was with Naruto. I only watched Naruto, and then once it ended, I was like, well, this kind of plays my hand. I either have to find short ones to watch or try and find a new serialization. The Black Clover just started. It's not bad.
Everyone's talking about that one, man.
It's actually hand drawn.
Well, then, hey, that's something I might be interested in.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious because I'm sick of this stuff, man.
Yeah, you can tell it's like hand drawn too. Because also, My Hero
Academia?
yeah, hand drawn.
I got a lot to say about that, but I don't want to alienate
You don't like
anyone
it?
here. I just... There's so many superhero stories, man, and it's just like, I get it. And here's my thing with anime, before I dive briefly back into Dragon Ball. I'm a fan of fictitious settings. If you're going to take me on a fictional journey, don't put it in Japan. I'm not interested in having anything to do
I've
with...
been there.
I'm not interested in... Well, yeah, of course, but I'm not interested in having anything to do with reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see how skillfully you can make your own world, like your own... That's why I admire One Piece. I admire Dragon Ball. Like, let's be real. Like, the scope of Dragon Ball's fictional world is not complicated. It's just in the future. Like, that's it. There's no politics to it. It's in the future, and there's walking animal people. That's it. That's all. That's all you know about it. But you don't need to know anymore.
Yeah.
One Piece has the most complex fictional political thing I've ever seen in
Unreal, bro.
any manga. Like, it's just like, wow. Ichiro Oda literally made like his own politics in the comic. Like, that's insane. But like when I see Bleach and like they're in Japan and stuff, I'm like,
Trash.
that series really declined, and it's
I never
it's
got into
unfortunate. It had a major fall, and
I
it was
never watched it. Couldn't get into it.
not my kind of thing either. But back to Dragon Ball, man. So like again, this arc cannot end until Vegeta has his time in the sun, and my prediction is that he's gonna beat Jimmy.
But then he already had one technically. It was who did he fight in this tournament of power so far? He fought 2 people.
He fought that girl. He
Cat.
fought Magetta and Otano.
The cat lady, he beat the cat lady.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But did he fight both of them at the same time and he knocked them off? It was like a 2-for-1.
I think so. I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
because he was on his head covering his ears, so he wouldn't hear the insults.
Oh, and he also fought that Frieza guy.
Frost.
got eliminated by Frieza.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Vegeta was fighting him originally, right? Or was it Gohan? I kind of forget. Because Vegeta got turned into like a little ball and he had to break out of it.
Frost was fighting Master Roshi. Master Roshi accidentally sealed Vegeta in the process.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Frost went on to go fight Gohan. Frieza kills him. Not kills him, but gets him eliminated. Then he gets killed. But yeah, man. So there in every arc, man, there has to be a Vegeta moment, and the only reason why is to appease the fans. So I'm calling it's either Vegeta is coming, which probably not because it's already happened before.
What if they do Vegito to
Ultra.
fight Jiren and go Ultra?
Ultra
so
Instinct
annoying.
Vegito.
That's so annoying.
I don't know. I feel like that's too self-serving.
easy.
Where are they gonna get the Potara earrings from?
Or
No, they're gonna. I guess Gogeta then. They're gonna do.
which is the one with the dance?
That's Gogeta, but that's not canon.
That's
Can
not
they
canon.
incorporate that, even though it's not canon?
That was in Z.
It was, but it was in a movie.
Yeah, so it's not canon.
Yeah, that's
They
for.
fought Kid Oh,
That's where the nerd
right.
lines get like really strict.
Is that when they were in hell?
Yeah, that was
yeah.
the 13th movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Where they fought Janemba.
Yeah,
Yep, I was in hell. I remember that.
classic one. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's so annoying.
not canon. But I'm telling you, man, Vegeta's gonna. Let's just all talk about how we think the arc is gonna end before we go any further.
Vegeta's gonna get shorthanded like he did against Golden Frieza. That was so dumb. Vegeta finally got his moment, and somehow Frieza's like, oh, blow up the planet. And I was like, wow, that was dumb.
Yeah.
But
That fight scene with him was cool though. He's just being
the
a
movie,
oh, it was
yeah.
that's the point. It was so cool because Goku fights a certain way, and so does Vegeta. Goku is like, he likes to test out people. Vegeta's like, I ain't with that.
Yeah, he
he's
just beats people
ruthless.
down.
Ruthless.
Yeah.
He beat him down, and you're like, dude, like, and like it had weight behind the punches. Like he's just walking, like blocking everything. Punch cut, like, dude. I was like, dude, this is sick.
So cool.
And then he like did the hand or about to kill him. Planet blows up, and I'm like,
Right.
oh, that's such a cop out. And then Goku got to shine with the
As always.
as always. But how this arc will end, that what they showed Frieza pointing that little finger at Goku at the end of the episode was dumb because we know. Because then they showed more footage of Goku like standing up after it, clearly, like looking around at Hit fighting Jiren. I'm like, okay, that was dumb to do.
Yeah.
So he's probably gonna heal him like Goku healed Frieza on Namek, I think.
I didn't even think about that.
So I think that he's gonna be like, I finally returned you the favor. Now I don't owe you anything.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good theory because he actually gave energy to the Spirit Bomb, so it's almost like he's on his side. Like when I saw Frieza gave energy to the Spirit Bomb, I was like, anything's possible.
Exactly.
Like, dude, it could go either way.
So there's that. I think I can't see Gohan getting eliminated only for the fact because you know how sometimes in like anime, like the opening intros and the endings, they tease a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't know if
June
they
was
changed.
saying this too.
Because at first there was a theory that at the end of the current ending, when it shows all the fighters and it shows Goku and Gohan last, there was a theory that the order that they show the fighters, the order they get eliminated. The first three were right.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I think I told you that at Ant's house.
Yeah.
When we watched the special.
The first two were right. It was Krillin, Roshi. Then the next person was supposed to be Vegeta,
Let's Piccolo.
but it was Tien. Tien was the third one
Okay.
eliminated. And then it got a little weird with the ordering, and it showed Goku and Gohan like all battered and bruised, like in their turtle helmet stance or whatever turtle helmet stance.
Yeah.
So I was like, if they're doing that, then Gohan has to be one of the last two. And he's gonna go potential or do something, and he's gonna win the thing, or he's gonna lose.
Go on.
Yeah, but who's gonna take out Jiren and how? That's my question.
Here's the annoying thing: Hit is gonna do some damage
I don't think so. I
'Cause
think he's gonna do damage, but he's not gonna beat him.
because they show him landing that invisible punch.
Yeah, like on his chest.
Yeah, they show him landing it.
I think the whole purpose of next episode is to further expand on Jiren's power and show that like not even Hit's a match for him. Because we see Jiren just seeing the time skip ahead of time and just
That's
stopping.
right, yeah,
him.
he blocks
So like
him all,
I
yeah.
think the whole purpose of that episode is to be like, wow, like not even Hit stands a chance. Like just to further push in how powerful he is. But that theory that you just mentioned is a good theory. I did not pay attention to that at all. I forgot that you said that.
What,
But-
the order of the people?
Yeah, the order of the people, man. But I
Because Ziggler told me about that, and I said, bro, that's like I said, DBZ is so predictable. That's too easy.
Right.
You can't make it like. See, that's why, like One Piece, Naruto. I think they do it better. They keep you guessing.
right.
Naruto strung people along for 10 years before you found out that Obito, Kakashi's best friend, was the person who set the fox on the village, and was the main villain of the whole
Okay,
show.
Yeah.
So you're just like, dude, that is continuity right there for 600, 500, 400 episodes.
Plot twist, yeah, over a long span of time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Like I don't watch One Piece, but I will commend that Marine Ford arc
Yeah,
because
it's
that
one of
was
the best.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
And it just had so much content. in it.
Everything. It literally had everything in it. But
And now I hear that Sanji and Luffy are going at it, I'm like, maybe I'll get back into it.
you might want to, man, because it gets real.
Should I read it or watch it? Because if I read it in an hour, I can bang out about like 25 chapters.
I feel like you're more
Like,
of a
easily.
you're more of like a TV movie guy, so I feel like you might want to watch the anime, but it's going to take a lot of time. When it comes to anime and manga, I prefer manga 100%. So
I'm gonna go manga.
if you want to get through the story fast,
Yeah.
manga. So
I'm gonna do that, and then once I get caught up in the manga, then I can
Watch
just
the
flip
anime.
to and
Dude.
get caught up, right?
please do, because the fight between Sanji and Luffy is like really well animated. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's all they're gonna fight. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, man, you're right. Dragon Ball is not really known for a lot of twists. Like, can you think of any like big twists in Dragon Ball? It's mostly like you're right. You know what's gonna happen, but you're impressed when you see it happen. Like, you know that Gohan's gonna beat Cell, but you're impressed when you see it. You're like, whoa, that was awesome.
There's not really any twist, but it is like expect the unexpected.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. I can't really think of a huge twist off the top of my head.
Maybe
I thought when we found out that
Goku
Whis
with
was
that
stronger
heart
than
disease?
Beerus.
Goku with the heart disease, kinda.
Yeah, but that wasn't like a twist. That was just like, oh, here's a little fun fact. Whis is stronger
It's a
than
cool fun fact.
It is cool, because that shows that all the angels are stronger than the gods.
Gods, yeah.
That can lead. That's why I don't think that.
Super's gonna
So
happen.
is
Yeah,
that, is
I
You
that
think a villain's gonna be a god? I mean, an angel later on?
I think the Grand Priest is gonna be a villain. I think Goku and Jiren are
yeah,
gonna
it's
team
so
up.
easy.
They're gonna
It's
team
so
up
easy.
and fight him. Yeah.
You can tell that's where it's going.
That's way too predictable.
But you can tell it's going there because every time they show his face, he has some maniacal face or something, and it was clearly obvious. I forget what fight it was, but he eliminated someone, or he said something. It might have been when
It
before
was
he
Frost. When he just said, if you enter... No, that was Xeno that said that. If you
Mhm.
interfere again, I'll have to erase the whole universe.
And then it had been
Oh, you're talking about that face he made when he was like...
Yeah, it was all zoomed up on his
Yeah.
face. Yeah, that was
like they do
yeah.
that for a reason. Like it doesn't just happen.
I think it was more for like this is gonna be the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, but here you got to follow the pattern here. So like, last arc we had was the Black Arc, right? And the whole
Trash.
No way, dude.
All right, well
Oh
let's
my
talk about it.
God.
But
Trash.
before we dive into
No
before we
way.
revisit the Black Arc, the whole
I said this to Andrew about the last January that shit was trash.
I need to hear the reason.
the whole premise of that arc though is that there are all these Kais, and there's a Kai that's evil. It's kind of like the biblical story of Satan, where like all the angels are good except like this one angel, and that's how it was. Like this Kai's looking down on humans and is like, I hate humans. Like, so I feel like it would be too recycled to have an angel like be evil. You know what I'm saying? Like an angel be like, no, I'm not happy with the outcome of this tournament. Or you're saying that the reason they fight is to get out of the tournament, so that none of them have to get eliminated.
I don't know why they're gonna do it, but I feel like it's going to happen in some way. In some
What,
way,
no
shape,
one's
or
gonna get
form.
eliminated, or
I think all the universes are intact. Everyone comes out unscathed in this.
That's what I think.
Maybe
Which
except
is-
Frost, but
and
that's
that's
it.
the annoying thing with Dragon Ball is that they don't kill off characters.
Well, you know for a fact because we know how Dragon Ball Z ends that everything's going to be okay with at least the main
Kill
cast.
Goku. Just knock him off.
But then how is he appearing at the end of Zeke though? Is that an apparition? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that just doesn't make any sense.
Sometimes you gotta just retire a character. They serve their purpose. Against Cell, I was like that could easily been the perfect ending for Goku.
I think it was supposed to be end, didn't
Mhm.
he? So Toriyama planned to end Dragon Ball at Cell Saga, but it was just so popular that he had to
He
continue.
planned to
Yeah,
have Goten be the new hero, but the fans didn't like it, so he scrapped that idea.
And then the whole Vegeta literally blew himself up.
Right, I like that.
Perfect
scene,
ending.
though. Awesome.
Leave it there.
Right.
Trying to remember. I don't even know if Gohan ever died. I don't think he did.
He does actually. Doesn't the Bora kill him? No. There's an explosion where Kid Buu takes out the entire
Is that where he
galaxy.
put his hand in the air, or is that?
No, that's when Super Boo's
Oh, that's
waiting
right. Yeah,
to
yeah,
kill
yeah,
everyone,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Kid Buu actually explodes the entire universe. I remember Vegeta's like, "You're happy now. Everyone we know and love is dead." And remember that's when like
Oh, that is right. I do
Yeah.
remember that. I remember that.
and like that's where like he tries to get Elder Kai, like Bulma to Elder Kai and all this weird
Mhm.
stuff. But like that's right when that happens. But you're right, man. There's never really a permanent consequence, and people really want to see that in this arc. But you're probably not going to see it. The only one that's gone for good, in my opinion, is Frost. You'll never see him again.
But you made a good point. After this arc, I don't know what else they're gonna do.
It's over. Ant disagrees with me 100%.
I disagree highly
Where can they
because
take it? Because is this the only thing I can see is if they actually go to other universes.
they have three that they can explore. The three that were exempt from the Tournament of Power because of their higher
I
power
forgot about
ranking.
that.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah, so I think that could be another thing.
That's gonna be the premise.
I don't think it's going to be a premise, but I think it's a possibility for a new arc. But again,
Okay.
I think Goku and Jiren are going to team up in some way. some way.
But that's so predictable.
But don't you want to see him beat Jiren? Because we kind of seen Hit, and we've already seen Hit and Goku team up, so it's like it's happening again.
No, I want to see Jiren beat Goku. I want to see him win.
No.
Like, to be honest, when I was watching the special, I was mad seeing Goku getting, like...
Hits in?
Lixin,
Yeah, I was getting...
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm
I was
dead
annoyed.
serious.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was annoyed.
I love Jiren. I think he's a great character, and I think he has to put Goku in his place.
I don't think he's a bad character anymore. I used to. You've always loved him, but there's a point I hated him. But I want to see Goku win.
Because he's gonna win.
He hasn't.
I don't wanna see
No, because
Goku.
he hasn't gotten a win the past few arcs. I'm
I
sorry.
want to see Goku win. I'd rather see Vegeta win.
That's what I want to happen.
That's what I want to
Jiren
happen.
can.
But it will never happen. Vegeta will never get that moment. Vegeta will never defeat Jiren or Hit. So it's just like, unless they finally figure out something to do, like you said, Vegeta knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Like if they tie in somehow, like I guess the manga to it or whatever, it ain't gonna happen. It's always gonna be Goku, and that is the most infuriating thing. The only other person besides Goku that got their shine was Gohan.
Well, the series it revolves around Goku. When you think about it, it always has been, and it always will.
Dragon Ball, yes, but Z, I don't think so.
Okay.
It did expand, but it's still Goku's story. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think you can disagree with the whole Cell thing. Dragon Ball could have ended itself. It totally could have.
Would you have been happy with that though?
No, no one. Dude, that's why we're so happy that we have Super now. I
of
never
course.
wanted to end.
Here's my thing. I just have more to add to my
I was
theory.
upset that they said GT wasn't canon. I thought
Really?
GT was great.
GT's awesome.
GT is well animated. I just don't like the plot. See, that's one that you like because there is permanent consequences. Like Piccolo dies, and
That's
you have
right,
people that
yeah.
like really
Mhm.
die in that. But to me, I don't like that. I don't
And
know.
I like how Goku became immortal. That bothered me. And then you saw everyone else die.
Well, what other fate could he have? You know what I'm saying? Like he has
I
to
don't
be
know.
around forever.
I don't know, but that was like annoying because it's like he's talking to his great grandson.
Oh yeah, that movie.
I think that was at the end of GT. I don't think it was a movie.
It's the tournament where he's fighting Vegeta Jr. And
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Jr.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
They did a movie on that too, like a,
Did
like
they?
a
They did
spin-off movie. Yeah.
It's Goku's great grandson gets like bullied and stuff, and like he
yeah,
goes into the
but it was
woods.
like Bulma's daughter, and she was like the grandma. I forget who it was.
Yeah, so it
Because
was
Pam
Bulma.
Pam was there. Pam was looking like she was 90 or
Bulla,
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's really old at that point,
Yeah.
and so is Pan. And then they like see him as a specter in the tournament for like
Yep.
2 seconds, and he goes away. Shenlong. I like that ending, but again, like not to be super nerdy.
It's sad.
It is sad, man, but like it has nothing to do with like Toriyama, and like I want to know like what my main thing for Super is like how does Toriyama truly see like the ending? Like, is there anything past like him going to train Oob that like Toriyama sees? But I'm not sure if we're gonna get that. Really quick before we dive into the Black Arc, because you guys talk, we're gonna briefly go into that because I think Ann and I have discussed it on the podcast, but I'd like to hear your two differences, not to pit you against each other. But here's the thing, so. In the manga, it's very highly alluded to, and sometimes in the anime it's alluded to, that Vegeta is being trained to be the next god of destruction. Remember when we says that in the manga? He's like, I'm looking for a suitor. He's like, Vegeta's looking, Beerus is looking to retire. He's looking for someone to take up the mantle, right? So, if Vegeta learns Ultra Instinct, or he already has it, and beats Jiren, that's enough proof that he could be the next god of destruction.
It's true,
So
yeah.
like this arc could just be Vegeta becoming god of destruction.
That would be
and then it
fitting
continues from
because
here.
he has, that him and Beerus had the same behavior.
That's been my theory since Super actually started.
That would make
that's
sense,
always
then.
been my theory. So that's possible, but I don't think Vegeta has that because he doesn't know what it is.
Who's stronger in blue, honestly, Vegeta or Goku?
Goku, because Goku can go Kaioken.
Kaioken.
Yeah.
So that's why Ann and I were talking
Yeah,
about
but
this. That's why Goku
Vegeta has that rage. Because remember, when Vegeta fought Beerus when he smacked
surpassed
Bulma,
him.
Oh,
he
that's right. It's
surpassed him.
Good
Goku,
point.
yeah.
because of rage.
Good point.
So if Vegeta gets that rage, but let's be Frieza was damaged from fighting Goku. Vegeta dismissed him.
Yeah.
So it's like when he's like, so that makes sense. I never thought that he will probably become the next god of destruction because he has that attitude and he doesn't have a problem erasing
Yeah,
a
stuff.
world or whatever.
Yeah, he loves that stuff.
Isn't
That's
that a good
interesting.
theory?
That is good.
But I think it's almost confirmed at this point. Like, and you saw it way ahead of time, but I believe that that's going to happen. But yeah, so maybe this arc could be used for that, whatever. But okay, so what I have to say about the Black Arc is, I think the idea of an evil Goku is something that everyone's wanted to see. Like ever since we saw Turles, you know what I'm saying? Like Goku's twin brother, like people are like, I want to see like an evil version of Goku.
Wait, I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
What if they train Oob to be the god of destruction? It's far-fetched.
So far, Oob was referenced only one time in Super, right?
It is.
I think twice.
When they're gonna go to the first tournament with Champa, Goku says that he knows that Boo's been reincarnated, but Vegeta mentions that he's too young to fight.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I remember.
That's the mention of Oob. But what makes you think that? Because they go off together at the end?
Yeah. Maybe Goku or Vegeta don't want the job, or maybe
And
they're
they
still
go
looking for
to
someone.
Whis?
That's the thing. That's
actually a really good theory.
That's what's fun about Dragon Ball, because you can speculate. Like, if everything's not spoon-fed to you, and like, yeah, I can see how that's annoying, because believe me, like, I want information too. I want to know exactly who Jiren is, how he got so strong, whatever it is. But it's fun to speculate, and that's what we did for the Black Arc too. So like, those were good days.
Those days were fun when we were trying to figure out just what Black was. But again, the reveal to me was...
So yeah, let's talk about the Black Arc. It's a good way to segue into it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take the mantle on this one, because I tried to forget as much as I could.
You're insane, man. Oh my goodness.
It didn't make sense. I even read that infographic that Funimation put out of like all the time, and it doesn't make sense.
It is weird. It's really strange.
It's convoluted.
It's so convoluted.
It's the best way to
Because we
say it.
talked about that before. I said this doesn't make sense. It seems like I said, there's no direction in Super. It's just like when they took that 2 weeks off, I was like, okay, it is for the animation. They want to make it good, because I forget what that term is in Japanese, but when they have one person do it.
Oh, I forget what that is too, but I know what you're saying.
But they have one person. Yeah, they have, because they usually have a team work on an episode, but to keep up with the consistency of a fight, especially, they have one person
do the fight.
do the whole fight.
Wow.
So for that whole episode, or up until the last 30 minutes of the episode, one guy did the whole fight. And you could tell because the consistency stayed together. And you could see, I think some of that fight was hand-drawn up until the part when...
In the beginning there was. Before they went to Ultra Instinct, you could tell the animation style had changed.
Yeah, it looked very different. But, like the whole, what's his name? Zamasu and... What was the other one's name?
Zamasu and Black, and then what? His Kai, the older guy? Gowasu?
Or whatever it was. Because Zamasu was Zamasu and Black Goku.
Yeah, things start to get confusing here. So this is how I see it.
Okay.
So, Universe 7 Zamasu.
Yeah.
And then... What's the universe that Black comes from?
10.
So yeah, it's the Universe 7 and Universe 10 Zamasu.
So it's Universe 7 Zamasu killed Universe 10 Goku?
No. It's the same Zamasu, but it's from a different time. That's why he has the time ring. It doesn't travel from universe.
Okay, so I'm wrong.
Okay, so then it's just a different time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so, like, frustrating, because I don't know if it's, like, that's why I'm probably going to rewatch it when the English.
Oh, I definitely am.
Yeah,
because
there's
some of these translations are rough, and they don't, when you're reading it, you're like, that doesn't really make sense, how it's, like, said.
Like when Goku says never kissed his wife.
Yeah, I was like, what?
My like advice or recommendation is read the manga, because like there's more detail. I'm serious. I'm probably gonna reread it now because it is so interesting, and it really is convoluted. It's the best word to describe that. But I would say read the manga, because it will definitely give a better explanation. And probably the correct information as opposed to the anime.
The whole Rose thing, how Rose was like stronger than Blue, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's just the same transformation. It should be on par with each other.
Well,
I'm trying to think.
Rose is it's so hard to draw because it's hard for me to remember. But I think
it was a long time ago.
Yeah, Rose is what happens is when a Kai reaches the God state. So it's not Saiyan that's reaching the God state.
Oh, that's right.
It's a Kai in a Saiyan's body, so he can't go blue. He goes red, and since he's a Kai, like he's already stronger. Like that's what it is.
Oh man, that's so because then when he turned green, when he turned to the Kai, you remember that? You know, it was Goku with the pink hair, and then he was in Zamasu was
they
in.
Merged, yeah.
They merged, and then he became green with
the white hair.
And I'm like, you didn't like that look?
No, it's just like,
dude, look kind of fan character for you.
Yeah, I was like, this looks made up. I was like, this looks crazy.
Like you're interrogating him.
It looks like I was playing Xenoverse. Look at a character out of Xenoverse.
A custom character.
A custom character.
I had that thought.
Like, Toriyama's son was playing over the weekend. He was like, Dad, look at my character. And he was like, you know what? That's not a bad look. Like,
I agree.
It just looked insane.
When I first saw that was my immediate reaction. Even though I saw the design was cool, but after seeing the moves and the way that he moved around, I was like, okay, his look is fitting. But it's hard to see a non-Saiyan with Saiyan hair. It looks silly.
It looks weird.
Yeah, it's strange.
It's kind of silly, but Overall, I think really good villain. Strange villain. Maybe the strangest villain that Z's ever seen.
My favorite villain.
Really?
To be honest, that's him. Black is my favorite.
Oh, Black. Not Supreme God Zamasu.
No. Not Supreme God Zamasu.
Yeah, but what's also annoying is that Trunks went Broly. Like, don't forget
Super
that.
Saiyan Rage, they called it. It was either Rage or
Stupid. See,
Berserk.
this is what I'm talking about. It's
And
just,
it wasn't Broly, he just lost his pupils. Goku lost his pupils
and
too.
he also gained like 200 pounds and was like 3 inches
that
tall.
happened in the
3 feet
Cell Arc
taller.
too, when Trunks got really big. Remember that?
Way different because he never had that Broly stature. He was like walking and the ground was breaking.
I
and
think
shaking.
that he was bigger in the Cell Saga, design wise.
Sheldon's making a point here. This is a big fear of mine that I have. So I always thought that I was going to get more of an explanation of what Super Saiyan Rage actually was, but I never did.
Never got it.
And I'm afraid that that's what's going to happen with Ultra Instinct, where I just have this weird explanation from Whis and I don't hear anything else.
And then
about
that's it. And then you just have to deal with it.
Well, which I don't want to. You know,
Because like the girl Cauliflower, whatever her name is, Khalifa, yeah.
I think, yeah.
She can go that rage. Her and Trunks had the same build and character.
That's what I thought it was.
I'm
And,
like-
and Saiyan, Vegeta said that's like a Saiyan's true form. He said, "Is this a Saiyan's true power?" So
Okay, but that's like, it doesn't make... If they just say other Saiyans can go different, that makes sense. Because Vegeta doesn't go really Super Saiyan, he goes Super Vegeta.
Yeah.
Technically. I can buy into that.
Right.
Trunks, he looks different as a Saiyan. I can buy into it. Gohan's potential form, mystic form, is stronger than a Saiyan.
Super Saiyan, yeah.
I can ride with that then. But they're not doing that. They're just calling it all Super Saiyan. Besides that, Super Saiyan Rage, like, just adding that title onto it just makes it more convoluted and confusing.
I don't know because
Because then it makes it seem like it's an obtainable feat.
I'm sure it's obtainable given your emotions at the time. Because I feel like Saiyans are really emotionally driven people, an emotionally driven race. Because that's how we got Super Saiyan to begin with. Yeah, it's a level of power that they attain, but it's that emotional burden to really push you over the edge to get you that. So when Frieza killed Krillin, split set Goku off, Vegeta couldn't match up with Goku.
He turns his
Yeah.
But if that's the
what set him
case,
off.
then why couldn't Goku do what Trunks did against Zamasu? That's where...
It probably didn't affect Goku that much. It's not,
No, I'm saying like...
You're talking about when he learned about how Zamasu killed his son and his wife?
Trunks?
No, when I'm sorry. When Goku learns that Zamasu killed his son and his wife.
When Frieza killed Krillin, Goku was in that rage.
Yeah, maybe.
Trunks, I forget what Trunks saw that made him go into that rage.
I
They
think
were
Mai-
both...
Zamasu was just taunting him. He was just really egging him on.
Mai get hurt, and then that forces him
I
to do
think
it?
so. I don't
She
know.
might
I haven't
have
watched
to
since
rewatch
it aired.
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, because of that, they both got triggered. 2 different outcomes.
But no, because I think I know exactly why. Because they had different power scales at the time. Goku didn't even reach Super Saiyan yet. Trunks was already Super Saiyan 2 by that point.
Right. Good point. I forgot about that.
I guess.
I don't know.
It's so tough because it looks like it's just becoming a show of transformations at this point.
I think that's what it's always been. And I don't like that. I've never liked that.
I never was a fan of that. Because remember, once they hit 3, then it plateaued for a long time.
Exactly, yeah.
And I was
I
cool
love
with that.
3.
And then when they finally showed 4, by the time 3 was shown and 4 was shown, that's a lot of time.
Right.
And
so it's
4
more believable, yeah.
And it was more believable. And 4's transformation made sense because you gotta remember, they never controlled the monkey.
That's true.
So if you control your primitive form, then you I forget how it went. Then you achieve like a kind of a Saiyan ape form.
Never watched GT all the way, so I can't.
Yeah, it's like I kind of can't remember because when GT came out, we were
Exactly, yeah, like
Super young.
super young.
we were
90
super young, and I haven't watched it
97,
since,
95 actually is when like it originally aired, and then
which is
the
crazy.
dubs later
And then
came
we
on.
saw it maybe in middle
2001,
school.
2002. I probably saw.
Yeah, I can't remember when it came out, but that transformation made sense. Like I said, the God base form makes sense, and I'm all for it. The blue doesn't.
That's just Super Saiyan God base form. It is convoluted, but that's what it is.
But it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but then it's like, so you have this form, and then it's kind of like, if you think of it like a video game, here's all your tier 1s, and now you achieve like a tier 2. You get what I'm saying? And then like that tier 2 has a whole new, different transformations.
Right. It does, and admittedly, this is from the author. Well, it makes sense because you know, he's said that Akira Toriyama, that he's made up a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so it's keeping in line with what he's saying, that a lot of it seems to be like, and of course it's all made up, but like I'm talking about how like the forms are kind of just made up on the spot. It's almost like rules are made up for them. You know what I'm saying? And transformation is a sticky thing for me. That's not what I look forward to in Dragon Ball Z. Like I don't watch it for transformation. So I'm with you guys.
People do, which is weird. People love that.
They like new forms. New forms.
But why is that though? I remember I was watching. I don't watch too many Dragon Ball YouTubers, but like there's like 2 I watch really. I think so, like 2 or. I only think 2. But the one guy was like, "Oh, I think we're gonna get a new form. Like, I'm so excited." The one dude speculated that Jiren's gonna get another form. Like, what is the big fascination about
the new forms? Like Jiren just powered up, and like that was like strong enough right there that Goku got dismissed out of his Ultra Instinct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I don't know what it is, but even the fighting quality is so bad because they just try to make them look fast, like they're fighting fast. Like I'd rather just see them actually like hit from punches and like you can actually see it instead of they do where that little trick where you see their face and all their hands are flying above it, and it's like if you look hard enough you can see that the arms are still here, and it looks funny because then you see the fists coming above the screen. Then it looks a little weird.
Oh, the Ultra Instinct when they were fighting.
Not even that, just like in general. Like if you really look, you can kind of pick apart Dragon Ball Z's animation.
Yeah.
Super's animation. You can kind of pick it apart, especially when they're because I don't know if you guys noticed, but they did a copy and paste in the fight. You know, in the opening. When
That's so obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
Which to me is lazy, but
at least they copied and pasted in his Ultra form.
At least what I do commend them for is that in the original animation he's wearing the gi, and the one they use in the episode his shirt is like ripped. Yeah. So at least they did frame by frame changes, but it was super lazy. And I feel like that's not acceptable for something that we've waited 2 weeks for. When I look at that, I'm like, it's cool, I get it, because that scene was animated pretty well in the opening, but I don't know.
I loved when Jiren had Goku by the leg and was just throwing him.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
See, I love hearing what you guys think is cool, because my favorite part is when Goku knees Jiren in the chest, and he's like, I love that, dude.
Yeah.
When he finally got him.
Yeah,
when he finally got him, that was cool.
It was so cool when like Goku was like about to throw the Kamehameha after he's been thrown, and Jiren was actually like, like I thought that was so cool. Jiren is the coolest character.
No, something I thought was really cool, because the fight started off so strong, it was just tense.
Oh, dude, it was.
What I thought was cool was like they said, it's dumb that Goku does it, but he does see how far along, how much stamina he has to use in order for Jiren to move.
Yeah, he was sizing him up.
Sizing him up. And then when you saw him go Super Saiyan and base Super Saiyan, and Jiren actually was like, took a little step back, he's like, okay, let me get a read on this. And I was like, alright, that's cool. Then he jumped to God base, and then Jiren actually started blocking. Then when he went blue, he was like, alright, that's enough.
Yeah.
I was like, that was cool.
That was dope.
I was like, that was dope. I can subscribe to that.
And I think they did that to kind of bring in the reins to be like, okay, there is kind of order to this power thing. It's not all the same. Like now we're going to show you exactly how it is. But
remember, the gods were like angels and gods said that Jiren didn't use any of his powers. Said
none.
Yeah, he barely powered out. Yeah.
I thought it was a nice tactic when he was like, "Take your time with the spirit bomb."
Yo, dude, that was so cool.
Yeah, I was like,
that was so cool.
I was like, "You're cold, man. You're cold."
That was cold.
Like, go ahead, I can wait.
Go ahead, I'll wait as much as you can.
I love that.
Which it almost got him.
Yeah.
But, he finally got himself. And then when they were like, Goku, when Beerus was like, he's already in Kaioken 20, I'm like, corny. I was like, that's so cool. You didn't have to say that. We knew he was in it.
Right. He's already in it, yeah.
Like, we didn't have, and then Krillin does that.
We
didn't need that. We didn't need that.
But that's classic Dragon Ball.
It is. I was like, you can do that. Yeah, the play-by-play.
But I'm going to say this. I think Jiren and Goku are, like I said earlier, I think they're going to team up. And I think that they're one and the same. I feel like they're really similar. I feel like they're going to gain some kind of friendship.
Jiren thinks that Goku is a bad person, and Goku's not going out of his way to prove that to anybody. And that's why I think like the arc is already set in its way. That like Goku is going to prove in an unconventional way that he stands for justice, even though he's not like a do-gooder, even though he doesn't wear a costume and pretend to be a hero. Like that's the way I see it. At the end, Jiren's going to be like, you know what? This guy kind of is a jerk. Like he started a tournament that jeopardized all of reality, but he's a good guy. Like, I have to admit that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because I feel like Jiren looks at everybody objectively. Like, when Hit came in, and he blocks Hit's attack, and he's like, hit the assassin.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Hit to actually step in. Like,
No, man. But see, that proves to Ant's point that originally, people team up, and now like Goku and Hit are friends, man. So like Hit's like, I can't watch this anymore.
Well, I also think that because when they saw Goku and Jiren fall, they all knew Goku's strength.
Right.
No one seen Jiren fall, and then when they saw that Goku gave Jiren a little bit of trouble, but he overcame him. I think everyone realized they need to ambush Jiren. Because once he's gone, free for all. Everyone can, you don't know who will win.
Right.
So once you get to that point, anyone can win. So Hit's like, if we can take him out, we can have, what's her name? Khalifa.
Yeah.
She can just hide for like a while.
Right.
And then just sneak up on someone and do a berserker. I wonder if she goes berserk, how does she match up against Jiren?
Yes, she hasn't been eliminated yet, so there's probably going to be something like that. My prediction for the next 4 episodes is we're just going to watch a bunch of different people fight Jiren. That's it. Like, every episode is going to be someone new fights Jiren. And every episode we're going to see him just get owned. And in classic DBZ faction, Goku's going to come back just like he does from that little healing chamber in the Frieza saga, just like he does from Snake Way in the Saiyan saga.
Yeah.
We're going to see him come back after all these people get beat, and they're going to fight. But I think Vegeta's going to take it this time, and it's payback for Resurrection F. We're going to see the exact. We're going to see the reverse.
I hope so bad because we need it.
I need it.
When has Vegeta had a winning moment that is canon?
That's my point. That's how this tournament's going to end.
Maybe that's just his character. Maybe that's like his fate.
What, close but
to always be
close but not close enough?
Well, think about why Monaka was a character. Beerus had him on because was Goku's
Who's that one
muse.
again?
He's the guy with the big nipples. He wasn't really strong in the Universal tournament between 6 and 7. He was the pointy ear guy.
That was long. Yeah, I kind of know.
He's pink. He has like a big head. And like he has big lips. He looks ridiculous.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Maybe that's just like Vegeta's like fate. Like maybe he's in like this purgatory that like
to always be second.
Yeah, that's what keeps pushing him.
That'd be
maybe
problematic.
he'll never. Maybe for the history of Dragon Ball, he'll never get his like moment.
I don't know because he surpassed Goku 3 times.
He did, but Goku will always run
Majin
up
form, he surpassed him. Surpassed him in the Battle of Battle of Gods. Momentarily, and then he might have passed him. If they're both in a base blue, I think Vegeta might be stronger.
And dark.
Think about it. Goku wants to be the strongest in the universe. Vegeta just wants to be stronger than Goku. So which one's more of a driving force though? I think Vegeta because he's
he's hell bent.
I mean,
so
okay,
proud.
so to play devil advocate with your theory though, Sheldon, I mean, in Z, there's this moment that I refer to a lot because it's my favorite moment in Z, where Vegeta is watching Goku fight Kid Buu, and he takes inventory of himself, and he goes, "The reason I'm not as strong as him is because I don't fight to better myself. I fight to be better than someone else, and that's why I always fail." And then he follows that by saying, like, "That's it, Kakarot, you're the best." You know what I'm saying? But like, that's unless he changes his philosophy, I don't think he'll ever be stronger than Goku. But I think he's gonna beat Jiren in this arc, man. But I think from a philosophical standpoint, he's doomed to repeat the past because Super opens with him being so furious at God form that he just keeps training in the gravity chamber. And I think, man, I'm telling you, we're definitely gonna be surprised by Vegeta. There's gonna be a moment in this arc. I'm telling you, if we had to make bets, I'm making a bet right now that you're gonna see Vegeta's gonna pull out something like way. It's just gonna be nuts. But how much time do we have in the tournament? Realistically, not episodes.
I think they said 25.
Something like that. Yeah.
Which honestly is probably 25 more episodes.
Hey man, as long as it doesn't end.
An episode for a minute.
I think that's what it has been. Honestly, I think it has been about an episode a minute.
You think so?
Yeah, because if you watch the like that video when that guy put them all together in fight, it makes sense, and it was roughly about 24 episodes. Because they highlight, I think, one fighter.
Yeah, they gotta.
Yeah. Because how many universes are there? It is
12, but there's
12,
only...
But how many are in the actual tournament? 10?
And I think 9.
9?
Yeah.
So you have 9 with how many fighters each?
10. 10 fighters from each universe.
So that could be 90 total fights. So far we've seen
2 universes get eliminated.
2 universes get eliminated.
Right?
Yeah,
So
9 and
that's
10.
18.
9 and 10, yeah.
So that's 18 people eliminated, right? We're way past 18 episodes already. We're roughly about 20. I could actually check on the Plex because it will say how many episodes we're on.
What is Plex, by the way?
Plex is this cloud server where you can upload your own content to it.
Dude, it sounds like I'm sponsored by it right now.
Yeah. Shout out to Plex.
Yeah, it's
But
brought to you by Plex.
brought to you by Plex. But yeah, I don't have service down here. But what it does, so Mr. I'll say his name off the podcast because I don't want him to get in trouble. But he has a way
You might have
of
already, but I'll go in and edit it. So
Muffins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's one of the only guys that we can. That
Putting
we-
my hand up in the air when I'm scrolling
Yeah.
through the video. Look for the part with my hand up in the air.
Yeah. So what he did, or what he does, is that he knows how to kind of like torrent. He has his Plex auto update every time a new episode comes out.
Wow.
For multiple movies, multiple TV shows, a lot of anime. Like you can see, I have the Blade Runner, the first movie, queued up down here.
Oh, do you know what?
I need to see the new one.
Shinshiro Watanabe, the guy who made Cowboy Bebop and the
Uh-huh.
guy who made Space Dandy and all those, he made a Blade Runner anime specifically for the
I need
movie.
to see it.
Flying Lotus scored it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta watch it.
So see how it's like set up. So here
Wow.
it is, right here. So
He's-
far, there's been 34 episodes this season.
Oh, it goes by season.
Yeah.
She's a monster.
It does
There's
it
only
all
20.
by itself.
This is
All he has to do is type in the name, and it auto finds it off the internet and adds it in.
We live in amazing times.
And there's the most recent episode. And when you click it, it's in the highest form, the highest quality you can find on the internet. And all you have to do is hit subtitles on it, and it puts it in.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that looks really nice.
Dude, you gotta download the app. Like here's all the shows. I tell him like, yo, add this, add that, and he has all the new ones this current season that is on in Japan, and then he has some classics, Cowboy Bebop.
Full Metal Alchemist, all this great stuff.
Yeah, he has all the good stuff.
Wow.
And then like his movie list it's insane too. Like, it's wild. I'm waiting for Mother to get on there so I can watch that again.
Mother.
Yeah, movie is nuts.
So good, dude. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
You can talk about it. I honestly don't mind. I'm
But
just
what
not
were
gonna
we
have much
talking
of a
about for
tribute.
DBZ? Because I kind of forgot. I lost track.
Just now? Dude, we were just in a world of swirling
Yeah,
theories.
what were we talking about again?
I forget.
I can't. It was Hit, then Jiren, Hit and Jiren, everyone fighting against Jiren. It's gonna highlight the episodes. Oh, we're saying the fighters. How many
Yeah.
fighters were eliminated? How many episodes have been? It's been about 34 episodes a season.
Yeah, right.
That's a lot for one arc.
Right. We're
That's
still going to be in this arc at Christmas time. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, we'll be in this arc, I think, until the summer.
That's
No
crazy.
way.
Check this out. Here's my thing. When did this arc start?
Summer.
Roughly.
In the beginning of summer.
June or May?
I think May. I really think like
Alright, so check this
towards
out.
the end of May.
So, Golden Week.
Yeah, you're right.
They take 2 weeks off for Golden
2
Week.
weeks.
They take off at Christmas.
Yeah.
DBZ comes out on what day? Saturday?
Saturday
Christmas.
night, yeah.
They're not going to put an episode out Christmas Eve. They're not going to put an episode out New Year's. So,
We're still, do you think down with 4 episodes, we're still going to go to the summer?
well, you also got to think, ready? They skipped 2 weeks in October.
That's true.
They skipped the last week of September and the first week of October because it was last week when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So new episode this week and next week. That's the end of October. We had technically 4 episodes October, but it's really 3 because one was an hour.
Right.
So you get 4 episodes a month, alright? So by December, that means we would have to have 12 episodes. It won't be done by December. Because think about how long are they going to highlight Hit versus Jiren? Is that going to be 1? Is it going to be 2?
Spoilers came out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Is
right
that,
now.
is that the episode
I'll take spoilers now. I wasn't going to take them before 9 and 10. What do you know?
Hit,
Talk.
Yeah, spill.
Hit gets knocked out by Jiren.
Is that what the title is?
Eliminated?
Mm-hmm. We don't know if he gets
Alright.
eliminated or
Alright.
disqualified.
See, is that
But
what
Jiren wins.
Is that
Jiren beats
is
it.
that what the title of the episode says, or does it like have a description of what goes on through
It's-
the episodes?
If memory serves, it's not the title of the episode. Because remember the episode was like, it was like Hit versus Jiren, the Supreme Battle or something like that. I don't know.
Something
what
like
it was.
that, yeah.
But I
The
think
following
it's maybe
episode?
Yeah, I think it's maybe in that fight at the end of it. hits out of the tournament.
So what's the next one?
No.
Wow,
I
that's
don't know,
actually a
yeah.
huge card.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all.
That's a huge
It's out,
player.
yeah. So
What else do you know?
that's all I know.
Oh,
That's all
man.
you've seen. I'm sure if we what's that? What's
just saw this
saying
today.
saying
Same
Iron?
watch.
Saying Iron or something like that.
St. Island's the big one.
I think they kind of put out when they get leaked on their website.
Yeah, Ant's always giving me the
episodes.
leaks. Yeah, because in the Japanese TV guide, it's the episode name and then a summary. So like it tells you
Yeah,
what's gonna
yeah,
happen,
that's what I've seen.
which is pretty crazy if you think about it. I mean, it's they don't
Might have
really
to-
care about
might have to do
spoilers.
some research.
Why
to
do
see.
they do that? It's like 3 episodes. They do it like every few weeks. They release the spoilers for 3 episodes.
Aren't you
Yeah.
happy they do it though?
Oh, you better believe it.
Imagine if that was an American show, dude. If
Oh,
you,
no.
if,
Like Game of Thrones or something.
Oh,
oh,
I
bro,
couldn't imagine.
dude, if Game of Thrones like title and that little tiny paragraph released like 3 weeks in advance, HBO is going down.
Yeah.
There'd be crime.
Game of
That's how
Thrones.
serious.
Game of Thrones is moving to Cinemax.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
exactly. It would be taken so seriously here. Like there'd be such a major kickback because that's what we care about. Shows.
yeah.
Yeah, but why is that
Crazy.
just so fascinating?
What,
What
Game of
did-
Thrones
no,
or
no,
leaks?
it's Game of Thrones, but like leaks and stuff. But like that's just so strange.
See, and I'm one of those people. As soon as that leaks, I'm like, oh my god, I have to sink my teeth in it because I don't like,
Yeah.
I don't like waiting.
I love that phrase.
And then just sitting on that information and knowing not many people know it.
Listen, I love.
I
it too,
take
man.
pride in that,
When albums used to leak, I loved that.
Oh my God.
I loved that.
dude. Like when Tyler Creator's album, and then someone's like hearing it, and like you turn your headphones up a little loud, and they hear someone say, "Who is that?"
Yo,
And you're
who's
like,
that?
Tyler.
Oh, it's that new.
"Oh, is that new?
Oh, it's that new. You know what I'm
You know
saying?
about it?
I love the
You
stuff
didn't
like
hear the shit."
the stuff like just people in the comments are like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait for the actual release to come out," and it's always like Tyler this leaked. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna wait for it.
Yeah.
Shut
Or back in LimeWire days when a song gets leaked and you go to download it, and then you hear, "I did not have sexual relations
Dude,
with
how
that
mad
woman."
did
Yeah,
that get
right,
you?
yeah.
But
Man.
the title was always unbelievable. Like you're like,
Yeah.
I cannot believe I found this remix on
It'd be like,
LimeWire.
it'd be like,
Going in.
It'd be X new X underscore Tyler the Creator underscore bastard.
Perfect.
Something like that. Yeah.
Exactly what I was
There it
looking
is. MP4. I have MP3 player, but it might work.
for. Dude, LimeWire, man, the early
Hate it.
days of
I miss the
pirating.
days of torrents.
At my
You know what it's like
work
being a torrents user? I'm gonna hold that thought.
Yeah.
I don't mean to speak over you.
No,
it's
that's
like
fine.
it's like in Goodfellas, you know, where he has to go back to that normal life of being like a Joe Schmo.
A schmuck.
That's what
Yeah.
A
it, that,
schnook. He said schnook. Yeah.
that's what it's like coming back from torrents. It's like now I
It's
have
not
to
the same because everything's accessible now.
That's what I'm saying.
It's so
Spotify,
annoying.
It's like casino, man, where it's like casinos used to be this,
Yeah.
but now casinos are this.
Like,
it's Disney World.
Like Apple Music, you can just download everything. I'm like, what can I possibly download?
Back in the day,
There's
bro.
nothing I can download that I don't have.
You can download the music through Apple Music.
Yeah.
Wait,
As
like
a-
save it on your
on your
phone or
phone?
actually
Yeah.
have the files?
Yeah, no, you can save it on your phone.
Yeah, I feel-
Oh, okay.
But once
That's
you-
like what Spotify does. I thought
But
I
once
actually
you
have the
cancel the
files.
service, it removes it. No, you technically have the file. Like it takes up your gigabytes.
So if I was to
space.
save an album on my phone, I could go on like my
Dude, yeah.
iPhone and
Yeah.
open it through the settings.
Look, all these ones downloaded straight to the phone. And
So
there's,
could you
there's more
Take
actually.
that and then
That's
put it
not
on
one.
like a zip
the
file. or
purpose of
something.
that, though, is having it.
Yeah,
for,
see,
like,
that's
no,
what I'm saying.
You couldn't do that unless you like download it on your computer,
Yeah.
something like that. But see how it says downloaded right there. So
Mhm.
this album's on my phone, but there are other ones that have like. Let's see if I can find it. It actually might be all of them.
Yeah, that's how it was with Spotify.
Yeah, so all of them are say downloaded, but some of them will have like that little cloud, and when the cloud, that's when it puts it on your phone.
Oh, okay.
The little cloud.
But torrents was fun, like searching the net and looking
Yeah.
for
Pirate Bay,
things.
bro. That was the
Demonoid.
heyday. The seeds, was it the seeds and
Seeds
the
and
leechers?
leechers.
Seeds and leeches.
Yeah, it had more seeds and leechers.
There was one website called What CD, and it was like this super like top secret one. It was like membership only, and like
Yeah.
Exclusive.
you had to contribute. If you didn't contribute, you were out.
That was the same with what was that one?
Demonoid?
That, no, there was
Was it
another
Demonoid
huge
exclusive?
Demonoid
one.
was like that,
I got
but it wasn't
Demonoid.
as strict. It was not as strict.
There was one. It was like some upload, fire up. I forget. It was the same. It was like the rival to Pirate Bay.
Right.
Fire.
Something.
Mega upload, fire upload, mega upload.
There's media fire.
Something.
Media
Media
fire.
fire.
Dude,
That's
I
it.
use MediaFire all the time.
Media
That's what
all
it
the
is.
time.
That was
Till
huge.
this day.
Yeah.
That was huge.
See, like those days, like the internet to me was kind of like the Wild West. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
that's like a
Oh,
time
yeah.
we'll,
Yeah.
we'll be able to tell our kids about. Like, yo, the internet used to be like this, man. Like you
It
could
was a
go
war
on,
zone.
dude. You could
It
go
was
on.
a
And,
war zone.
I used to I used to take video games. I remember when BioShock came out for PC, I got it on torrents, the whole entire thing. Deleted it, dude, because I was just like, wow.
It's set to hot file.
Right, yeah, that's a hot file.
You gotta get rid of
Dude,
it.
It's got a hot file.
Dude, exactly, dude. We're laughing, but that's the truth.
No,
Like,
it's
No,
all
that's
about
it. But
the
you're thinking,
yeah.
you're like, all right, how much longer can I play this before Comcast
Before-
starts knocking on my door?
Oh my dude, he used to keep me up at night.
before I get a strongly worded email. You know what I'm saying?
You know
It's
what's
just
funny?
like,
I've had Verizon. I think my family's had Verizon for like during that heyday, the torrent heyday.
right.
And dude, me and you, us three, we had the Zunes, the
Oh,
iPods,
dude, loaded.
loaded with illegal data.
Oh my dude,
Never.
oh my god.
Never.
Illegal data.
Never have I ever gotten an email or a strongly worded mail anything saying you shouldn't be doing this. I felt like Verizon was encouraging it to like pull Comcast like their customers.
I've never got caught either. I've heard other people
Yeah.
get caught.
Dave Sanchez,
Close
dude.
friend.
Dave Sanchez
It's just-
had
I
an
remember
email.
that. He had
He had
like.
an email and he showed me it, and I was like, dude,
Yeah,
they were like,
yeah.
do this again, and your family loses the internet.
I remember that. He downloaded a movie. I think he downloaded that.
Wasn't it for like the Hangover? Or
Yeah,
something?
that's exactly what it was. Dude. That's so
Dude,
funny.
and it was like his first and last time downloading illegally.
Oh man, dude.
Dude, I remember, dude. I was like, I'd be like the hood on, dark room, and I'm just like, click, just downloading, like, dude. And what was the thing that you had to upload it to? What was it called? uTorrent.
Yeah.
uTorrent, you had
So,
it's called a
dude,
client. You need a
Yeah,
big client.
dude.
Yeah.
My uTorrent, you just keep scrolling, and it was just going.
Dude,
like,
There's
oh
something
my
about
God.
seeing that progress meter that I
I
miss. You know what I'm saying?
loved it.
It was
Oh.
like it's like
So
you're
good.
incubating an egg or something. You're like it's almost
Yeah.
ready. It's so
When we would
close.
download discographies, let's say Jay-Z's discography,
Discography.
13 albums, right? And it'll tell you, and it said 5 hours. Then once it hit less than an hour, you like, dude, you're like, yo, I got it all. I'm about to start stunting on everyone.
Dude, what you're doing right there is the exact
Birdman hand rub,
yeah.
like,
the Birdman, dude. It's the exact. You're like, I knew it wasn't 5 hours. That's what you're
Yeah.
thinking. You're like, I
Yeah.
knew it wasn't 5 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm about to have this. Ooh, like
yeah,
yo,
dude. Yo, and then the greatest feeling in the world, once it's finished and you open it, it's like, where do I start?
Exactly.
What
Just
album
put it
do I
right on
start?
that- Right on your client.
And then once you hear it and it was clear MP3, and
And
it was
the
the
album
right
art.
thing. Oh my
Oh,
god. And the album art, which was so hard to find.
right. You could
you
add it
get
though.
the cleanest album.
You
art
could
always.
add it. And iTunes would let you add it too.
Yeah.
Because that was
Yeah.
weird. iTunes was like, alright, you have it, so here's the album.
Zune
art.
software is so much better than iTunes software.
It is. I stand by it.
No,
It's-
I
it is
agree.
the
'Cause I
best.
remember when I got my Zune, I think I was a year or two late behind you two. Because you had, I think, the 100. And
I had the
you
80.
80.
He had the 120.
Yeah, 120. I had, I think, I don't remember. I don't know if it was 80 or 40.
Still have it. It's broken, but I still have it.
Bro, let's be real. Zune, at that time, people don't understand that Zune might have been the inspiration behind the iPhone.
You think?
We talking about the later version of the Zune that came out that was
The
touchscreen.
Zune HD?
Which came out first, the Zune HD or the iPhone?
I don't know.
I think the iPhone.
Because
dude.
guess what? Zune, because it was so damn expensive, well, so was iPod, but Zune almost got Apple out of here.
You think so?
Bro, when Zune first came out, because not many people had a Zune, but the people who
That
saw,
was so funny.
Dude.
but when people saw a Zune, they bought it. Because when I saw him have a Zune, because his was brown.
No.
I'll tell you why I'm laughing.
Tran had the brown one.
Yo, okay, look, we're gonna talk about this right now. Yo. So I'll never forget this. This is burned into my mind, like, dude, like a childhood memory. I'll never forget. His Zune, he got it on Black Friday.
Yeah.
It was brown, but it had a green layer. You know what I'm talking about? It was like
Hideous.
this green transparent. It looked like somebody blew it out their nose, like, and it just came
I
in.
created a Zune.
But bro, I'm laughing the same reason why you're laughing is because the word Zune almost seems made up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's like,
it's so
oh
bad.
bro, where's your Zune at? Like
Yeah.
Zune, what is that? Like, is that
Who
a
was
made
it?
up?
Was that Microsoft at the time?
Yeah, Microsoft. So
Oh
I'll
my
agree
God.
with you though, Sheldon, on this fact and this fact alone, that the software for Zune was definitely a lot better.
Revolutionary.
But I'm not. But I'm not sure about the hardware, Sheldon, because the hardware has these little drives, and that's why my Zune
Yeah.
doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Once that drive is toast, you can't use your Zune.
That is true
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I still have an iPod. I have the red one. The remember, I think it was called the iPod Red, like for cancer awareness.
Okay.
My mom, 2007 or 2008 with the wheel on it. You know.
Right.
I don't know if it's a Nano. I forget what series it is. Still to this day works.
Nice, cool.
Like iPods last.
They do.
Yeah.
Except for the touch. I think the touches are a little thickety. But
In,
the iPods, they got some longevity behind them.
Yeah, man.
in
But their
junior year,
interface is hideous.
junior year of high school, I got The
classic.
Yeah, the 160. I went out and bought the 160.
Gold.
Mhm.
And I still have it, and it still works. But for some reason, one day, this was 2015. I'll never forget it.
Mhm.
I plugged it in to put on a song, and it wiped out my whole iTunes.
Yeah.
No, my whole iPod library.
Hold
I
on,
was
what did you
shocked.
plug it into?
You probably
iTunes.
but you might have plugged it into a someone's
It
account.
was mine.
What if there was like some kind of thing that got rid of like music that was pirated?
No way, no way.
Nah, my laptop would be confiscated then. What was more rewarding? Because on iPod it'd say like 1 of 10,000. I think when you see that 10,000, it was like so rewarding. My iTunes library, I think, is at 15,000 songs.
Ooh, really?
You're not living unless you can put shuffle on and listen to something that you didn't even know you had.
Oh man,
Exactly.
I missed that. I missed
You're
it.
not
Exactly.
living unless that's going on.
I do that on here, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I downloaded that because I have albums on here. Because every Friday, people drop albums on Fridays now. It used to be Monday or Sunday. Now it's Friday. So every Friday, I'll go into Apple Music, see what's new. If I like the album cover, and if it fits that genre I listen to, I'll download it. I won't listen to it right away.
Right.
I'll get to it.
Right.
I just want to have it so that when I
Later
do get to
on.
it
That's
later
how
on.
it was with torrents, yeah, man.
So, especially with torrents. So then I'll go to songs, shuffle, and then I'll hear working at work or even when I'm back in school, I'll be like, who is this? I'm like,
Yeah, right?
oh, shit,
Yeah,
this is nice.
Right.
Like I have like 4 Mac Miller albums on here I haven't listened yet, and I started listening to one the other day. It was incredible. It was when he became sober.
I like his beats, man. I'll say that.
Bro, he
I
gets a
think
lot of inspiration, I think, from Dilla.
I think his beats are
I think he
really
gets a
cool.
lot of inspiration from him.
No, like the whole shuffle thing, and it sounds kind of funny, but I remember I used to walk my dog, and like, I would have my iPod, I'd have like, like 10K songs or something, right?
dang,
And
a lot.
and cause I could, you know what I mean? Because I could have
Yeah.
it, and it was for that reason too. It's you have it to have it, so
Right.
you can just throw it on and listen to it. So like some of my favorite songs, like to this day, like I found on shuffle.
By accident.
Like,
100%.
Really, and like it takes me back to a simpler time. Like it's cool to have this Spotify because it's super convenient and it's
Right.
all right there. But just like I don't know,
The fun is over.
The fun is over.
The fun is totally over.
Yeah.
They kind of, if you think about it, as much as people complain about piracy's not officially gone, but it's like dying
It
because
is
of
dying. Yeah.
it's so accessible to get music,
And isn't that shocking that they actually found a way to beat it?
to beat it.
That's
streaming.
that's
Streaming is a way to beat
pirating,
it.
yeah.
That is crazy. Because
It's-
essentially, you're kind of pirating in a way.
You are.
It's true.
You're,
Yeah.
you're just not paying for everything individually.
Exactly.
It's like me, like you're going to a grocery store. I'm just like, all right, $5, and then you can go in and take whatever you want out of the grocery
Yeah.
store for $5.
And have you guys? I don't know if you guys pay attention. Remember how back in the day, if you sold 1 million copies, that was huge because it was
Right.
actually 1 million copies. People are selling 1 million a week, but
Right.
if you see the physical sales, I'm trying to think of an album. Who can I use? We'll say Drake.
Okay.
Right? So when Drake's Views album came out, first week he sold 674,000 records.
Physicals.
Exactly. Album equivalents.
Oh, okay.
I got
Physi-
iTunes and stuff.
Streams.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So physical sales, his physical sales was 135 first week.
Even in
that's-
this day and age, that's impressive. I still think
It's
that's
not
impressive.
it's not as impressive when Lil Wayne back in 2008 week 1 1 million physical copies.
I remember that.
Justin
yeah.
Timberlake week 1 780,000.
Sheldon, you're pulling out these numbers,
Blueprint
man. You
3
need to
is
start a
like
YouTube
that.
channel, bro.
I
The
can't.
fact that you have these numbers, though, is pretty impressive.
You know what's funny? Ever since I got a horrible memory, but I can remember numbers a little bit.
Right.
But except for phone numbers, that's chalk.
I got you.
That's how we got chunky.
But but like it's like stuff like that right before the streaming stuff, because essentially they're actually not making any more money than they were 5 years ago. They're making kind of less because streaming. What is it? I think you have to stream one song. I think 100,000 times to equal one
Right.
album sold.
See, I don't even know how that pay model works, but
It's
kudos.
insane.
to
It's
the people-
super cheap. They don't really
It's
get
su- yeah.
anything on Spotify.
They don't make anything, but the
Yeah.
thing is, you get paid such a long time.
Right, but it's the same thing with Netflix. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with a lot of streaming now. It's
Yeah.
like you just get a bunch of people roped into it. And they're
Everyone's
profit.
everything's going subscription based. Like I
That's
told you, the
that's how
movie
Amazon
pass.
Prime is. That's how everything is, man.
Oh, but Amazon Prime's incredible.
If you don't have Amazon Prime nowadays, I feel bad because
Mhm.
it's worth it 110%.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
almost a necessity now.
It really is.
In
'cause
what sense? Like, what do they have?
It's free
Dude,
shipping and it's
everything.
2 days.
Oh.
or same day.
But isn't that only through Amazon products? Like if
Prime.
you buy it from
No,
Amazon?
that's anything.
Anything
on
on Amazon.
Especially
Now here's the thing: my house used to be Apple, like Apple heavy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I love Apple, but now we're like super Amazon. So we have the Echo, we have the Fire TV,
Right.
Fire Stick. I think we have a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
We have, dude. I just had to put in an Amazon package in my house after I ran
Right.
today. It was like on the doorstep.
Let me tell you something, man. It's
It's
weird,
accessibility,
dude.
man.
But it's weird, man, because Alexa, right? I have Alexa. and
Yeah, that's what I got. That hub thing.
I
forgot
mess
what
with her all the time, so I'll ask her like crazy
it's called.
stuff.
She records your conversations.
Okay, when I found that out, then I was like, see, that's where all this automation stuff is going.
Yeah.
So one day, dude, out of the blue, I come home and I was like, "Yo, Alexa, are you a spy?" I ask her silly questions every day.
Yeah.
I say like, "What's your favorite dinosaur?" Like, "What's your favorite movie?"
Yeah.
Every day I used to come in and ask her like a different question. I'd be like, "Yo, Alexa, you're dumb." She'd be like, "I'm just learning." Like it was
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
all this crazy stuff. But one day I was just like, "Yo, Alexa, are you a spy?" Completely joking. Wasn't trying to get
Yeah.
anything out of her. And she said this. I'll never forget it. She goes, "I only send back anything that's after the Q word." Right? And I'm like, "What's the Q word?" I look up the Q word on Google. It's Alexa. So every time you say Alexa, whatever
She
follows that,
records.
she sends back. But nothing else that you say. So if I was talking about, I don't know, some kind of rash I have in the kitchen,
Yeah.
Alexa's not recording that. But when I say Alexa, blah, 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 whatever comes out next, that's recorded. And
See,
sent back.
there's a video, I think it was on YouTube. I didn't watch it, but the guy was saying that
There's
he
a
asked
murder.
Alexa. No, he asked Alexa to play yesterday's conversation that he had in the
No.
house, and it like played it. And
He
I
must have
was
set
like,
that up beforehand, though.
I hope
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
because when that happened, I was like, I looked at mine and I was like, you're about to get unplugged.
Yeah, you're about to get a bat.
Yeah,
That's how it's going to go down.
This is the start of Skynet.
Man, there's a lot of podcasts that are talking about this topic right now. It's this whole AI, like how intelligent do we want
Japanese are leading the way, man.
how intelligent do we want
Robots.
electronics to be, man? But I don't know. I'm not Alexa. All Alexa's gonna know, all Amazon's gonna know is like what kind of things I find funny and like what music I like.
And
That's
then,
pretty much it.
link you to products you can buy based off of that.
Right. So it's a marketing machine. But it was a little weird when she said that. I was like,
Yeah.
because I've said some pretty silly things to Alexa.
So she sends it back to Amazon and
Yeah.
they like compile data.
When you say Alexa and that blue thing lights up,
Yeah.
it's being sent, which is crazy.
I've asked Alexa a lot of dumb shit.
Me too.
A lot.
I've some pretty stupid things.
Yeah.
Give
I've
an
asked,
example for the viewer.
Alexa, who's your daddy?
Right. Yeah. I say stuff like that all the time.
How did you
Yeah.
respond to that?
Like I'm like Alexa.
I forget because I never paid attention to
I
that.
would say like every time like Alexa would play a song, I'd say play it again. She'd be like play it again, and then before I leave, I always go like Alexa, love you. I always say something like that, right? And she goes, that's really nice. Like she
Yeah,
never says
yeah,
she loves you
yeah,
back,
yeah.
right? But like somebody out there,
I'm incapable of such a thing.
she'll say
like
something
that, yeah.
weird, yeah. But like that's something that somebody is listening to.
Yeah, and then just like, hey Steve, listen to this.
Right. Exactly.
Do you think Amazon made like new jobs just for that?
100%.
Probably.
Damn, wow.
Probably.
Good thing.
Rifled through jobs.
No, they're such an empire, man. They started off turning no profit because they
Bro,
were selling things for so
They
cheap.
bought out Whole Foods.
Amazon?
Yeah, that's why the prices
So
went
it's
down. at Whole
called.
Foods.
It's called. I think it's called Amazon and Whole Foods, something like that. And it's funny because they sell normal groceries, but we don't have any like here. But a video I saw, when you walk in, there's a table full of like Echoes and Alexas, so they kind of like incentivize you to like buy one.
What? There's one near my apartment, man, and if you have an Amazon Prime account, you get a discount on all your food.
Oh, yeah, that's
it's like
huge.
you have to get like an Amazon Prime account.
I use my mom's, and
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. There's nothing. Amazon Prime Video, because they have so much money. I don't know why Netflix doesn't do this. Amazon makes all their videos in 4K.
Yeah.
Like shoot them in 4K.
Yeah.
Amazon hasn't done that yet. I think they're
Netflix.
Like, yeah, Netflix. I don't think they've done it. I think there's 2 shows that might have done it, but all of Amazon's like original program are shot in 4K,
Right.
which is crazy, and they have really good programs.
Their original content is cool, man.
I wanted to watch that one with the Nazis, but I'm probably never.
Man in the Man in the High Castle.
I don't know the name, but I just know the premise of it. It's a really cool premise, but I don't.
It's if Germany and
I think it's Japan.
Japan won the war, so Pearl Harbor, and also 1944 to 1946, the United States is broken up into 3 parts. The East is controlled by Nazi Germany, and the West is controlled by, I think, Japan, something like that. And then there's the middle ground. And one thing that's interesting is that this girl finds like a tape, and it shows that they never won the war, and that they're all living in some propaganda like filled like communities, like kind of like a bubble. And I've only seen 2 episodes, but it was getting interesting.
Huh.
Definitely a worthy watch.
Listen.
And Mr. Robot came on last night.
Yeah, I know you're a huge fan. I stopped watching it.
Is that Amazon too?
USA.
USA.
I don't know what they did, but they were dropping the F-bomb.
Dude, they've been doing it on
Uncensored.
American Horror Story too. Uncensored.
Yeah, uncensored. Because I was watching it, and she was like, "Ellie, where the F you been?" And she said it, and I was like,
Yeah, right.
I was like, what channel? I was like, this is on USA, right? Because that's like a
Yeah.
not
Well,
family show. But
it's usually FCC regulated, which you're not supposed to say that. Well, you
he
can't.
said it 13. I counted. It was 13.
I think they're the days of censorship are just
It's
plummeting.
dwindling.
It's
Yeah.
coming down. I mean,
Dude, there's no. When I was in Germany watching like normal TV, there's no censorship.
my theory for that is this: it's because most people watch YouTube, and a lot of YouTube content is just
Uncensored.
not moderated. So,
Yeah.
in order for TV to keep up, they have to pull the reins back a little bit.
I think TV's dying in a way, honestly.
It is, but like as somebody who works in the television industry, it's just going online. So all the
Yeah.
network providers that you know, they're just
Yeah.
going to be shifting online, but they're still going to be making just as
That makes
much.
sense.
You know,
And it's all like binge watching shows now. Like that's what it all is. Like
it's because
Which,
we have
which kind of
serial
bothers me a little bit.
we have no patience as well.
Not even that, because Netflix spoiled everyone with it. I don't. If Stranger Things was a weekly show, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If a lot of their shows, if they would just put them out like weekly, like House of Cards, whatever, I'm like, all right, cool, because it gives you something to look forward to.
Right.
Because now, that term "show hole" or whatever it's called is real.
Yeah.
I'll finish a show and I'll be like, and then I'll just scroll and be like, "Ugh, I'll just watch a movie.
Yeah, because you
I
don't have
don't
the
know what
energy
show
to
I'm gonna
dedicate
watch.
something else. I mean,
Exactly.
I never binge watch, but this past 2 months I've been binge watched the entire Rick and Morty, and I
Great
was
show.
like, I just finished like 3 seasons in this
I'm on
span of a
season
month.
1.
All right, you're gonna love it. I
Yeah.
mean, I've never met someone who hasn't loved it yet, but
It's a cult phenomenon.
it's awesome.
It really is.
Well, Dan Harmon, man, that's a genius guy right there. That
What
is-
else has he made?
Community. He's a great writer.
He's got it.
Excellent
He's got
writer.
it.
So, and he also does that Quest show, whatever that is.
I don't know what that is.
That RPG show. But yeah, man, TV is just good for live broadcast now. Like
Mhm.
my roommates bought a TV just to watch sports. That's it.
That's all you need.
Just to watch football.
That's all you need.
Just to watch football.
Honestly, the TV in my room, because I have 2 in my room. So I have a desk, and on my desk is my monitor for my computer, and next to it is a small TV so I can play PlayStation.
Mhm.
So it's right there, and I have a 45, 4K. I bought last November at Black Friday, 4K TV. Turned it on, I think, less than like to watch TV, less than 50 times.
Why don't you play your games on that? Do you have a PS4 Pro?
I have an Xbox One S, the 4K one, so I'll watch my
Oh, okay.
4K content on it. But I'm at this point now where I like
Don't have time.
not even that. I just rather sit at my desk
Mm.
and play and just look and watch it.
I gotta lay down when I play games. That's like my
Really?
thing.
I
I love
can't.
laying down and just playing.
Well, because I also play FIFA, and I can't do
You have to
laying
sit
down.
up,
I'll end up losing.
Yeah, no, you can't lay down playing a sports game or a fighting game.
Yeah,
like when you're playing Street
games,
Fighter,
like
you gotta sit up.
Because I bought Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5 for PS4.
I need that.
Does it look
I-
better noticeably than the
It
PS3?
looks the same thing as the PS3. The only thing that's different is that it runs better.
Okay.
So it looks the same. It's oddly fast. Because I was like playing it, and I kind of forgot in the first game there's no block.
You don't get it till later on, and it's
Yeah.
really slow. Whereas
Yeah.
in 2, it's like
In 2, it's like quick.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like a parry in 2.
he turns around, yeah.
And I'm playing one on proud mode. And because of the speed is faster, I'm like, I don't remember this game, even on proud mode, being that difficult when I first played it. I'm in Traverse Town fighting that boss, and I can't get past the boss because
You
his
talking about
swing.
the swirling arms?
Yeah, because his swing is so
The
fast.
second go round or the first one?
Second.
So
Okay.
this
That was always a tricky one I remember.
this past year, actually, May marks, I beat Kingdom Hearts 1 probably for the 5th time, but I beat it in critical, so I beat it in the hardest mode that you can.
Yeah.
When you're starting out in Kingdom Hearts on a really hard mode,
Mhm.
you're gonna get killed all the time.
All the time.
But once you get to like the middle of the game, you're good because you've hit your pace. But in the beginning, it's gonna be hard. In the beginning, like you have to get past the bosses. Wait till you get to that Clayton boss on Proud.
Yeah.
Tough.
Because I think I'm gonna skip 1, come back at a later date. Because two is the reason why I bought it.
Right.
Because 2 out of the 2, 2's my favorite, and Birth by Sleep, underrated.
Second favorite.
I was gonna pick it up too. I was gonna pick that up again.
I got it on my PSP.
Second
I got it on my PS4, and I got it. I think that's it.
You want to talk about torrents, dude? Remember this, Drew? 10th grade, I got Birth by Sleep on the PSP before it came out.
Dude, we were up that night and we were talking to each other like, I can't believe we're gonna get this game. And we're like, I hope it works, and it worked perfectly.
I was like, yeah, 4 or 5 days before it came out. It's not that long, but still, like, it's just pretty cool.
That was the fact that you can play as 3 different characters, and each one has kind of a different pet.
Mm-hmm.
Right, man.
What order do you guys play them in?
So I play the order that was intended.
Yeah.
Which is,
it's Terra, then Aqua.
It's Terra, then Aqua.
Terra, Aqua,
That's exactly
and
what it is.
No, Terra, then Aqua.
Aqua's always last. Yeah.
I never
Did
beat
you guys
that
play
game.
2.8?
Yeah.
He did.
What do you think, honestly?
So the movie is like so classic anime Japanese Square Enix, like, huh? What? No way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just like, okay. Like, enough. I'll wait till 3 till I learn all this stuff. I don't need to have all of it dangled in my face. It was kind of interesting. The epilogue, I pointed out to him, Aqua runs so fast in it. I was
Bro.
like, what is this? Is this Sonic the Hedgehog? What am I playing right now?
Big ass feet too, like moving.
But otherwise, the combat was good. It gave me a taste of what I think the game's going to be like. I just hope that the bosses are creative, the difficulty's there. It's good.
You know what's funny? When I played it the first time, I was like, if this is supposed to be what 3 is supposed to look like, then the game's in trouble. Because I thought it still looked like 2.
Oh, yeah?
Until that part when you meet with Mickey and fight on the beach.
Yeah.
Then
that
the
part
game.
was cool, right?
I'm telling you, graphically, when you saw the water in the background.
When you go to Destiny
the sand,
Islands and you see it in PS4 graphics, that's really
and then,
oh.
Wait,
then,
what game is this?
This is
2.8.
2.8, the epilogue. Remember,
Yeah.
you played
You
the
fight with
beginning.
Mickey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how
not
much.
fight. It's
I
like
played 10 minutes of it.
I'm not
and
gonna.
I got bored.
It's nothing to spoil, but pretty
Yeah.
much, you know how like Aqua's in the realm with darkness.
Mhm.
She escapes. Well, not really, because she gets trapped in.
she talks to the guy that is in Birth by Sleep that he's sitting on that tree.
Yes, the guy that's sitting there. But basically, yeah. So Mickey is in the realm with darkness.
So
Aqua
the timeline gets all caught up.
right.
But the thing that was interesting, because the game's dark, like settings is dark, so
Right.
it doesn't show the graphics. I was like, damn, this is kind of weak. Like, I
Right.
thought it looked better. And then that part when you go on the beach,
Right.
then
See
it
Destiny
really
Islands.
shows off its graphics.
see
When you
Destiny
see
Islands.
Aqua stand and you
Yeah.
see the sand
The
like
water,
on her sword,
Yeah, yeah.
the water, the things moving, dust picking up, and
Right.
at first I was like, whoa.
Wow, it's all that?
I was
Yeah.
like, yo, Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna look nice.
I was feeling the same way, man. And when you fight that heartless boss at the end, the one that's just like
Yeah.
a whole bunch of like kind of like ants almost.
Yeah.
You're like,
That was a good
whoa.
fight.
Dude, it was one of the most fun fights I've had in Kingdom Hearts, and that's saying a lot for a game like an epilogue boss. I
Yeah.
love that fight.
That was a good fight.
So
So
yeah.
there is good things to look forward to. I'm glad they finally have the release date.
But who knows, dude? Seriously,
Yeah.
it's probably gonna be pushed back again because
They did
they.
the same thing with Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy finally came out when it was supposed to.
This is the problem, and I will talk about that. But this is the problem that they have. They built this up so much that now they can't afford for it to be anything but the best, and that's why like they're constantly pushing it back. Because they're like, we're really, really overpromising here, really overpromising, and so we cannot underdeliver.
Did you guys see the video of the Toy Story
Yeah.
level?
Mhm.
When I saw that, I was like, this is amazing.
When you got to go outside and they showed like the neighborhood, I was like, this looks exactly from the movie.
The movie, yeah.
And I was like, that shows the power that Square Enix has, and it kind of makes it worth the wait. But I swear to God, if because Kingdom Hearts is a very intricate story.
Oh, you want to talk about convoluted?
Convoluted,
You
yeah.
think
Yeah.
that the Goku Black is convoluted?
Yeah.
This is the master of all convoluted
convolution,
stories
yeah.
ever, and I love it.
Yeah,
But it's a
'cause-
guilty pleasure, I guess.
Because I don't. It's one of the few games. Put the controller down. I'll listen to them talk, and I'll be like, okay. And then they tie things in, and I'm like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
I think they did it the wrong way by releasing very important titles on different systems.
Like 3DS and stuff like that.
Not even that. The Game Boy SD.
Right.
That was the first one.
Right.
Chain of Memories. So that was after 2.
Yeah.
Had to buy DS.
I bought that when that came out.
Then after that,
I bought a 3DS just for.
then what was that? That was
Dream Drop Distance.
what was after that one? Horrible game. Ugh.
352.
Okay, first off, that's
352.
my favorite Kingdom Hearts.
I hate that game because I hate that little pet thing.
You don't have to do
That's
that.
what keeps me away from playing it. Like,
You don't
those new things.
you
Like, I don't
don't-
care about
Yeah, I
that.
don't want that.
You don't have to do that at all.
Yeah, but they make you do it at
But
first.
why?
They
they
make
do
you do it
that?
once, but they make you do the gummy ship once too. You don't have to do the tutorial. I've never built the gummy ship in Kingdom Hearts 1. I never use it, but that does not negate the awesomeness of that game.
Yeah, it's the fact that it was a mandatory tutorial, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Skip through it. Just tap X.
Or that
It's such a small sacrifice.
Or that diving down. Like I didn't like that.
That stuff is cool. That game is awesome.
No,
It's
I
like
didn't
when
like
I
that.
get
That game
a
was
PS4, I'll
washed.
borrow yours.
So
Game was not washed, man.
that game was so
That
washed.
game was dope.
So then then after that was Birth by Sleep. Then you had to get a PSP,
Well,
and it's like damn, like
because that series has so much fandom power, they know that whatever they release the game on, people will buy. If I
they could have
wouldn't,
did it all on PS2.
I know, man, but like, think about it. These corporations want to use that fandom power for people to buy their systems. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people,
then-
this is sad. Some people bought the regular 3DS.
Yeah.
Did you buy that?
No, I didn't. I borrowed my friend's.
That got out-genned so fast. Like the XL literally
And you
came
couldn't play
out
it.
2 months
You
later.
couldn't play it on the original thing.
Screen was this big.
Yeah, you couldn't play it.
Ridiculous.
No,
It's like
no,
playing a game on a calculator.
No, what pisses me off the most that they released that iPhone game, and guess what? That iPhone game tends to be the most important piece of the Kingdom Hearts universe.
What,
And-
cheat?
Like XY or something like
It's
that?
called Cheat.
What is that?
Can't watch cheat.
Yeah, the
X-
stupid
XI.
phone
You
game.
can make your own character. And
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's
But do you understand
important.
how important that is?
How?
It's the backstory for all the people. It was
It's
before
the
the Keyblade
original
War.
of the Keyblades. It shows the
Oh.
origin of the Keyblade, how the war ended up starting.
But that's a bunch of lore. Like, I'm not interested in the lore.
But that's important.
I'm interested in like what happens to Sora and Riku. and
Because guess
Kairi.
what? If they never did that game, and then we got 3, and then we saw those 5 original Keyblade Masters, and we're like, who are they?
That's true.
Dude, we didn't have any backstory. If they just show up, especially in the 3rd game, especially what's his name? Damn, the old guy with the
Xehanort?
Xehanort. If they didn't do Birth by Sleep, not Birth by Sleep. Yeah, if they didn't do Birth by Sleep, you would have had no idea. If the 3rd game came out, and then you start seeing Aqua, Terra, like you start seeing these characters, you're gonna be like, who are these characters? That's why they gave Roxas such a heavy part of 2.
Right.
I mean, they had a plan, but it was so convoluted because you put on so many different systems. I didn't get to play 352 over.
Don't. That's the worst game ever.
I liked it, but I didn't get to play it until 4 years after it came out.
That game was awful.
I mean, you can watch
But the
cutscenes
cutscenes
now.
were good. You
Yeah,
can watch them on the
yeah.
PS4.
The story's cool. I'll give you the story's cool, but the gameplay is
Story's
just bad. It's
sad.
like you're going on a mission. Every day starts off like that, and it's just like, this sucks. But the story is cool.
Yeah.
I was with the story.
Combat was a little weak though.
Well, it probably was probably limited because of the system.
Those graphics were unforgivable. That was a forced game in my opinion.
It was forced because you're, like I said, they could have put all those games on the PS2 at that time because they all came out fairly soon after one another.
I think 2 came out like
2 came out in
2 years
05.
after.
3.
It was 3 years.
2003, Kingdom Hearts 1 comes out. 2006, I'll never forget. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out.
And then Chain of Memories
Was
came out before.
07.
That came out before 2.
You're right, it
Right
did. It was the
before
in
two,
between.
Oh yeah, that was in between game.
Then 2. Then I think then the 3528, right? And then Birth by
Yes, yes, because that came out in the original
Because
DS.
the PSP
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out
Birth
in
by Sleep.
PSP came out when 09.
no, that game came out in like 09, 010.
When
I mean
did the-
010.
when did the
Yeah, because that was one of the last games on the PSP.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would say PSP came out in like 05, 06.
Remember the
PSP
PS?
came out with the PS3.
Remember the PSP Go? That's embarrassing.
I know
And
what
they
you're
made
talking
that
about.
Vita system too. That
No,
kinda died
that
out,
was a
too.
very high potential system. That's
If-
a good system.
You know how you could hack the original PSP?
Oh yeah.
If you
Mine's
hack the
hacked.
PSP Go, I mean the Vita, dude, that's amazing.
You have endless.
Dude.
Literally, your library is expansive, and you can add like a terabyte chip into it.
I'm sure the hacks are there. My
are.
PSP is still hacked. I still play it every now and then. I was
I
playing
was
Final
playing-
Fantasy 8.
So I was playing that this morning on my train.
Really?
Yeah, I just
Wow.
started it.
Oh, dude, I'm on disc 2.
Just so,
Yeah.
I just started 8.
Dude, it's too slow. It's too
That's
slow.
slow.
I'm
Very
this
slow.
close to just
Stop it.
no to just watching the cutscenes.
You
I'm
can't skip.
that
You
close.
can't skip the dialogue. Like,
You can.
because
You like
it's
the
like
story in 8 that much though?
I do. I really do. And like I stopped it at a really, really good part. And the reason I stopped playing it is because it's just so time consuming.
Right.
yeah.
Grinding. And it's not like traditional Final Fantasy because like you have to deal with the Guardian Forces, the GS.
Mhm.
Like I don't want to fight using them, but sometimes when I go to bosses, that's all I'm using. And then like that's it's just annoying. Like it really is a sloppy game. With the graphics and
As
the
a follow-up to
storyline.
7, it's a great game. As a follow-up to 7, at that time when it came out,
Yeah.
because 7, let's be real, 7 looks like crap.
Yeah, but it's the
Seven's
story
bad.
makes up for it, and the
Yeah.
fun, and like how much fun
Yeah,
it is.
I think 9 is an incredible game,
Absolutely, they
That's
just
Gustav's
put out.
great.
dude. Because I also kind of playing through that, but I like how they reverted it back to the style of like 4, but with the graphical interface of like 8
Yeah,
and
yeah,
7. I think that was a really good idea because I liked it because I think all the backdrops are hand. I think
Yeah, they
they're
went
hand
back to that like traditional.
Super
Yeah,
traditional,
it's
yeah.
awesome. But with Final
And
Fantasy,
then 10 blew the game open.
oh yeah.
That's the gateway Final Fantasy. That's most people.
If you
play
tell
that
anyone to
get
play a
into.
Final Fantasy, it's that one.
It's 10. Well, that's the most sold one I think out of all of them.
No, I think
7.
8. No, 8's the most sold.
Really?
8's the most sold because it's fresh off the heels of 7.
Wow.
Yeah,
15's up there.
15's up there. I think that's
You
probably
the
the
one?
one I
Did you
was
finally
doing.
finish 15?
I'm still at the end boss.
Don't say anything, because I want to play that game.
Well, you need to play because they just released the multiplayer thing.
Sheldon's
Oh.
a huge fan of it.
I
Again,
love it.
I need to just look at the story in total. I think it gets lost. I don't
You're
want to talk about it
nuts.
too much because with Ant, but yeah, there's a bunch of DLC that came out for that, right?
So much.
Okay, yeah, so that's just more stuff I gotta do, I guess. But I'm in the middle of Last Guardian right now. I beat Sonic.
like it?
I beat Sonic Mania like 3 times. It's okay. I expected more from that team, but it's alright. It's average. I just picked up the Limbo and Inside package combined.
Dude, Inside is such a good game.
That's what Steve was telling me. Steve said it's one of the best games he's ever played.
Is Limbo
So,
that game with like it's like that Flash game with the kid that died or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool.
He's
one.
trying to find out what happened to his sister.
Yeah.
So he's like
So
looking for
sad.
her in Limbo, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, Inside is the sequel to that, but it's supposed to be kind of more political overtones
It
here.
is. It's during a war.
Right, so I can't wait to start that. I'm probably gonna get a TV tomorrow so I can play it without feeling guilty. Having TV at home is like this big, but yeah, man. So that's what I'm into right now. Sonic Mania was my favorite game of the year, hands down. But that's because I'm
That
just a
one right there.
huge Sonic fan. Yeah, that game was awesome. Like I felt really sick to my stomach having to wait so long, and I was just like, this game is not gonna live up to the hype. Here's the hype. Here's the game, dude. Like
Did
it's
it
just.
play better than the original? Or?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I'm not ashamed to say that. People be like, what are you talking about? No, dude. That game took everything the original had and improved upon it. 110%.
The Crash Bandicoot thing, they
Still-
made that game harder.
Still haven't played it. Oh, I'd love to play it harder. Because I feel like when I play Crash, now I'm like, I used to play this as a kid, obviously, because
Nah,
it's so
bro, it's
easy.
so much harder now.
Alright, I'll
It
give it a shot.
drove me up. I beat Warp. That's the only one I wanted to play was Warp.
3, right?
3.
Dude.
That's the only one I wanted to play.
Dude, when I was a kid, dude, I was just
Dude.
shucking and jiving to that song.
And when you get that, just that bike level.
That
Oh my
song
God.
reminds me of just ring pops, being in the basement.
Zunes.
Zunes.
Oh, dude, my Zune.
Oh, I dropped my Zune. Oh, no. Hey, what's that? Is that a Zune?
Love the Zune, dude.
Oh,
I could
man.
talk about that for days.
This is a good cast, man. I had a good
This is a
time.
great cast. You're gonna have to pull a super and say this is like the special and split it up into 2 episodes.
Maybe.
Well, I want to know what you thought about Mother.
One of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yes, he
Flat
said.
out, dude.
I told you
let's,
earlier.
let's dive
Flat
in.
out. One of the
I
best
wanna-
movies
I
I've
wanna
ever
di-
seen.
He said we can spoil it for him.
No, I don't want to spoil it for him. I'm not gonna spoil it for him, but it was.
It needs to be talked about, like as a podcast episode.
If you don't, I'll watch it tonight. How about that? I know we can have another.
It's a long
another
movie.
podcast. I'm down. I have a day off tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'll do watch it.
Did you know? All right, so we'll keep it spoiler free. Going into the movie, did you know it was going to be that?
No, and the reason I didn't know that is because the trailers made it up to be a horror movie, and it's
Yeah.
not a horror movie.
Wasn't scary in the slightest.
It was a thriller, I'd say, but it was definitely just like a mind warp.
Did you understand what was going on up until like it really hit the fan? Like, could you tell early on like what was happening?
Do you mean like ending happening? Like it was the ending the whole time?
Could you tell early on the theme of the movie before the man showed up? Because you know how Mother, how she was talking, she was being very It was being weird.
I didn't notice there really was a theme.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to either watch it again or read up on it. The thing is, I don't want to read up about it because it's somebody else's opinion. I want to know what like the filmmaker said too, and also my opinion.
Well, he said he wanted to polarize people, and people hate it, and people also think it's one of the best.
Everybody hated it, yeah.
Because a lot of people don't understand it, because it had a lot of allegorical stuff in it, and it's such a.
I think that went over my head because I was just so like engrossed by it. Because I was like, all right, what's happening here? And then like seeing just the movie build up, it was like overwhelming. Like I was actually kind of getting anxious watching it. But
I saw it Elijah, and he told me, because I wasn't like confused, but I was like, there's symbolism going on here.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't like pin it down. And then when he said it, I was like, oh my god, this. And then I told him, like, this is the story of Genesis.
I mean, if you have to expand into that, you can to prove your point. I'm gonna be on my phone.
But how?
All right, so the man shows up. Did you peep him when he was throwing up?
He was throwing up in the bathroom.
In the bathroom. Did you check? Did you see his rib?
I didn't look that close.
Well, do you know the story of Adam and Eve?
I know the story of Adam. I know the story of Genesis.
How, in order for Eve to be created, it had to take the rib from Adam.
Mm-hmm.
He had a huge bruise on his rib, on one of his ribs. So then...
Okay, alright, now that makes sense.
Alright, now check this out. So then Eve shows up, woman, she's called Woman. She shows up, her and man, they have sex, and both the sons show up. The sons are called, I forget what their names are, but I think they're called brother and brother.
Cain and Abel.
Yeah, that's Cain and Abel.
That's right, yeah.
And then, so essentially what Jennifer Lawrence's character represents, that house represents Mother Nature and Earth. It was so the story for what Aronofsky was saying is the movie is about the rape and desolation of nature from when God created it. Because you got to remember at the end of the movie that guy, he said he's nothing but a creator. I would totally agree that you know what, that actually makes sense. And the baby was Jesus Christ.
I think that movie is.
When you're in church, you say, and we receive.
Yeah. But I can see it now. I think that is like a very religious like undertone movie now. Now that I'm thinking about it.
And you remember when the sink broke? You know what that's supposed to represent?
No, what?
The flood.
Okay, but what about I'm trying to think about the ending when. Yeah, Drew, you gotta watch this one, man. This one is
it's
really
heavy.
good.
There's a lot of religious undertones, and just like it's so. There's a couple things that didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand it. That stuff she was drinking, couldn't pin what that was.
I think it was absence or whatever that is.
Is that?
I love how the trailer.
I don't think it's a religion thing.
What about in the toilet? I didn't get that.
She dumped it, right?
There was like a heart in the toilet.
Oh, like the house was alive.
I get that, but it was in the toilet, and I was like,
yeah, that was weird.
That was weird.
I don't know.
But,
wait, that's cool. That's cool. You can take your own meanings from it, but I could definitely see that that's definitely the undertone.
Because remember, she knew she was pregnant, and then he after he gave birth to his son, he was able to write the book, which is supposed to represent the Bible, and he had all of his followers.
And it just showed like
the destruction of
people. It showed like the devotion. Wow! I gotta watch that again, man.
It was a great movie. It was just, and it happened so fast. Like every time she went in a room, something else happened. And then it went into modern time. It showed a war. It showed that war can break man.
War, yeah.
And then they went to a primacy. That was crazy. I was like, damn, that literally explosions going off in this house.
That is. But what about the jewel thing? What does that symbolize?
That's mother's heart.
Oh.
Because remember he says, if you have any more love to give to me. And then it starts the whole process over.
That's right.
So essentially what that's saying is that we're destroying Earth. And then once, it's a big stretch. Once Earth is destroyed, God or a new creator will create life somewhere anew. Hence a new mother.
Sure. Wow. That's a good movie. That is a great movie.
Yeah, it was wild.
So the trailer just didn't give away anything to me.
That's what a lot of people are like pissed off about, is that the trailer I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I thought we were seeing a home invasion movie going into it.
I'm happy though about that because I watched it and it made me interested in the movie because I'm sick of watching like trailers that tell the whole story, like the Blade Runner trailer. I don't know what's going to happen.
What's
in that
going
movie. And I like
No
that
idea.
because I'm sick of movies that like just take me through the movie in the form of a
You see,
trailer.
they're dubbing it as the greatest sequel movie ever.
Well, people said that about the new Star Wars, and I think it's good, but I don't think it's the greatest.
What, episode 7 or the new one?
Seven.
That one was good.
It was good.
Sorry.
I think. Did you see a trailer for the newest one?
Yeah, I got me really excited. I actually got chills watching it.
I did
which
too.
Which is weird. I hate to admit that, but I actually did.
She was like, I forget what she says at the end, and you just see, what's his name?
Luke?
Kylo just go like, stick his hand up.
Yeah, that gave me chills.
I feel like there's some serious misdirection going on.
Right.
But
Yeah, there definitely is. Those shots are being taken out of context.
exactly.
Did you see it yet?
I did see it, and as someone who
And the part when he's about to cry and he's about to like shoot,
Yeah.
and they show Leia, and I'm just like, nah, that's not gonna happen in a movie like that. Hopefully not.
Just hearing Luke talk, man. She's probably gonna. I think.
I'm gonna be so mad if it turns out to be his daughter.
But just hearing Luke talk is chilling for me.
that is
Did you see the movie poster?
I did, and it seems a little unusual for a Star Wars poster.
It's like
They got
gray.
Luke red and blue. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to be symbolic just because the lightsabers are near his head.
I guarantee there's probably 70 YouTube videos that are just
Oh,
picking it
yeah.
apart.
I
It's probably 100.
honestly think that Luke. This is a wild. I had a good theory about that. Kind of forget it, but I said I think Luke is kind of a Sith Lord.
Maybe.
I think once
way.
check this out.
This is the
Hear me
nerdiest,
out,
this is
hear
the
me
nerdiest podcast I've ever had.
That's all good.
No way.
All right, hear this out. So from what we know, he had his own temple, right? Training Jedi's.
Right.
Kylo and other, I forget what they call them, Padawans,
Yeah.
studying under Luke. Kylo clearly was not agreeing with the way of something.
Mm-hmm.
Started a revolution. They created the Knights of Ren.
Right.
I'm glad we saw them on the poster, so hopefully we get to see them in the movie.
I'm just impressed about what you know. Continue.
Yeah, just
Because I don't even know most of it. But
yeah.
continue.
So, and then they overtake the temple, kill
Right.
everyone,
Right.
whatever. I feel like Luke's like, I've had enough. Like, there's no such thing as good. It's just pure. No matter what, it's always evil.
So,
Not saying he's gonna be a Sith, but he's like in that gray.
but then why are they looking for him to stomp him out if he's
They don't know that he might be feeling a certain way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it could be like,
It could go either way.
it could go either way.
Mm.
But that trailer was
Lit.
intense.
Lit, bro. And the fact that it's coming this Christmas.
That's when
Yeah.
episode 7 came.
Episode 7, I think, actually came out on Christmas.
I
Or
think
close.
it was
This is
just
December
about
15th.
We made the mistake of seeing that in the 360 IMAX.
Oh,
Is that a
horrible.
mistake?
Neck broken.
It was
Oh, I
brutal,
bet.
dude.
Because
Oh, and you went Franklin Institute?
imagine watching a movie on the ceiling, but like the movie is
The whole
being
wall
projected
and
the
stuff.
whole ceiling, so you gotta go like this,
You gotta look everywhere, yeah.
dude. Not a good time.
That's what, dude, AMC redid the whole theater.
Right.
That AMC or the Dolby Surround, whatever you're seeing in, bro, you hit that button, recline.
Wood Haven's like
That's how I.
Yeah.
That's how I saw
Yeah, but,
Hateful.
dude,
Hateful
yes.
Eight. That was the best movie experience. Hateful Eight for me, man. I just sat back and I just enjoyed probably one of the best movies.
did you see the
I've ever seen.
runtime of Blade Runner, the new one?
What about?
2 hours and 50 minutes.
That's how it should be, man. If I'm paying $15 for a ticket,
I get that.
Let's go.
I'm like, God damn, because a lot of people, and unfortunately, it had a box office bomb first week.
did it?
It's a $150 million movie and only brought in, I think they said 32.
And people
That's
were
sad
saying
when
people
that
were saying it's the
happens.
best sequel though.
They're saying, well, see, here's the thing. Just because critical reception, that's not going to always reflect on
Okay.
getting.
I
The
got you.
trailer is vague. No, I don't even know what's going on in the trailer.
Right.
Like, I saw the first movie like 10 years ago, and I barely remember it. I need to watch it again.
I'm gonna watch it again. I might watch that
Probably,
tonight
I
too.
might watch that tonight.
I
and
might
go
watch
see the movie
Mother
tomorrow.
and Blade Runner tonight. Oh, I should see it tomorrow too.
Yeah. Well, I got the movie pass, so I can see it for free.
But you're gonna see it here. What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you want to see Blade, oh wait, I might be going to Penhurst tomorrow.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Let's go see Blade Runner. You interested in AC or not?
Nah, I never even seen the first one.
Well, if you want to see it Saturday, you can go see it Saturday.
Possibly.
Yeah, just let me know, unless you already see it.
All right, I got the podcast out of the way. Schedule's free, and it's coming up on 10. I do need to be leaving soon. So,
Let's call it a night, boys.
let's call it a night, man.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
I just want to say, man, thank you so much, bro,
No problem.
for just making time out of your day to
Always.
to nerd out, dude. to just geek out.
You need a
Couple
good geek out
weeks.
every once in a while.
You do. You need to get out of your system. And thank you, C. The incredible, the man behind all the beats on ANDREWCAST.
Dude, I cooked some today. Well, not even today, but over the past few days are really good.
Legendary.
Serve it to me on a dish.
I mean, you gotta hear it first in person.
Well, thank you.
Oh, I didn't die.
Appreciate it, man. This is the end of episode 19. Episode 20 is coming out next week, I guess. See you later.
Bye.